One.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Thursday, January 19th, 2023. The divisional round is hours away, and this show starts right now.
Football!
He's about to really do it.
Hell yeah.
2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. We're about to find out who's going to go on to the championship round, and then inevitably who's going to be competing for Lambeau, the greatest trophy in all of sports. Who will be able to walk out of Phoenix, Arizona in 1 month from
last week,
Sunday,
Sure.
saying they're world champions and changing the future of all of their lives. Cannot wait to watch it unfold. On the AFC side, we got a couple doozies. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Then the Bengals and Bills will play. They were supposed to play a few weeks ago. Obviously, we thought a human died on the field.
Yep.
That human allegedly going to be all the way back for the game this weekend in Buffalo. Cincinnati's ready to do their thing. Buffalo's ready to do their thing. Joe Burrow's putting on a wrong jersey for press conferences. You think he's light? You think it's light?
So.
You think he's feeling okay? Buffalo Bills yesterday, we weren't able to chat with Gabe Davis. Why? Because their practice ended early. You know why practice ended early? Normally, things are going good.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like we're going to get a great ball game there. Then you got the Giants and the Eagles, a division rivalry that are going to decide who's real, who's not. What's the future look like? A couple of future free agents for the New York Giants doing a lot of damage, earning a lot of money. And Dabo and Wink are ready to take on Sirianni and his crew of Dogs. Should be a great game. And then the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers. What is Dak? What is Dak? Is Dak going to be able, with all of his weapons, to do what he was able to do last week against Tampa Bay, with Bosa on the other side of the line of scrimmage, with Fred on the other side of the line, with baby Polamalu on the other side as well, let alone Kinlaw and everybody else they got flying around. And for the 49ers, will Brock Purdy learn that he's a rookie, a rook-ass rook, as Robert Mathis would say. Last pick of the draft. This dude isn't supposed to be doing what he's doing, but he's been doing it perfectly. He came out and said that his number one thing, obviously, is Jesus Christ.
Brother, yes.
Seems to be that is what he leans on, to remain very calm, very poised, very confident. This is going to be an incredible weekend. We're lucky to talk about it. We can't thank you enough for joining us every single afternoon. Speaking of joining us, I get a chance to be joined by a great group of humans every single day. The Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, great shoes, bro.
Hey, thank you. They are very comfortable.
Ty has enjoyed the Bud Light deal more than anybody else. Ty right now is rocking an incredible hoodie that has great fashion right down the sleeve. And then on the bottom, he's got the Bud Light Air Forces, brand new, fresh out the box.
Was not expecting to have these. Bill called me last night. He said, "Hey, I think there's a pair of these in your size. You want me to sit them on your chair?" I said, "You know what, Bill? If there's a pair left over, I will absolutely take a pair of Bud Light fucking Air Force Ones. Are you kidding me?"
We'll turn those things sideways real quick.
Bud.
Whoa.
Boop. There's Bud Lights in there. And that was back when Iowa was good. Oh, no, that's a wrestling
That's wrestling, my friend. We are still very good.
Yeah, wrestling is the... shout out to Iowa Wrestling. Tone Diggs is here, one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone, how we gambling? I see Gumpy got real hot last night.
Yeah, the squad's pretty hot on the college basketball floor. When you're taking teams like Radford and Utah Valley State and stuff like that, it's hard to lose. It's really a good time of the year.
That has been something over the past couple of years you Hammer Dahn boys have become like specialists in. Because Gumpy will have me betting thousands of dollars on a university or college that I've never heard of before. And he's like, they're wagging right now, pal. Nobody's stopping them. And also, the sports books don't have a good read on them because nobody's ever heard of them. So this is a place where the Hammer Dahn boys have been able to take advantage of the books a little bit. And I'm happy we're right in the middle of that season right now, it feels like.
Yeah, we are right in the middle of it because it doesn't matter. The stats don't lie. The stats don't care if you're playing in the Big Ten or the ACC or if you're a school that nobody's ever heard of. The stats are the stats, and they don't lie.
And they have to, the book, FanDuel has to put lines on
everything.
Hundreds and hundreds of schools. So they're not always going to be dialed in. You know, those bigger games is where people want to bet, obviously, because you're watching a big game on prime time, and you want to, know a little bit more about that school and the coach. You might know one person has gone to, school at one of these places, just not as a friend, but public. Tone and Gump and them, Gump mostly. He's going to a school you never heard of.
Yep.
And he's thinking, I'm doing more work than fucking FanDuel's doing on these teams.
Right.
And he'll be able to get you a good 4, 5, 6 games, and then boom, he'll bounce to another team that he has found. This team, never heard of, bang, bang, bang. I'm happy we're in the middle of that. That's good news for my account because I've been losing.
Yeah.
I've been losing a lot of bets, and this is when we turn it around.
Hell yeah.
Because we're going to hit this weekend, aren't we?
Of course.
Brandon Marshall hit a super boost last weekend on FanDuel.
Yeah, he did.
It's like minus 180, boosted to plus 100. That's a massive boost.
Huge.
It hit. Shout out to Brandon Marshall hitting a super boost. That has not been the norm on FanDuel at all. We're going to hit this weekend, though. Then we're going to hit in championship round.
What?
And we're going to figure out how to win the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
There'll be a way.
There'll be a way to figure that out.
Over.
Where there's a will.
We'll figure that. And then we're going in the Super Bowl, and we're hitting them, and then we're riding off in the offseason, forgetting about how terrible the season has been with the Super Boost. Speaking of the Super Boost, did your same game parlay hit last night at Darius J. Butler?
Missed by a point and a rebound.
Rebound. We knew the rebound was going to be a problem. As soon as
Yeah,
we
we
saw it
did.
up there. Didn't want to be the one to point it out because last time I did that, the exact thing I pointed out was the thing that didn't hit. But as soon as I saw the rebounds, I was like, that looks like a lot of rebounds.
Yeah,
One
it
rebound.
was.
It was 8. Yeah, he grabbed 7, and then Ja was 1 point shy of his 25. He had 24.
How many assists did he have? Was he passing the rock
Yeah,
last
he
night?
had a decent amount of assists.
I think he had 8.
Look at Ja playing the game a little
Yeah.
bit.
Here we
He's
go.
killing it right now.
What happened to Luka last night? He shows up in a fucking monster truck and
Yeah.
doesn't put up 35 points.
Yeah,
Can't have it.
I mean, he had 19 in the first quarter, and then the Atlanta Hawks said, you know what, let's just double him, play 4-on-3. And that's what they did, and then they ended up winning.
And then Bogdanovich goes ice cold from the three-point
This guy.
line. First time he's ever gone cold. I was listening to it while I was playing a little PGA 2K, winning another tournament, the Arnold Classic over in Ohio. No big deal.
What?
Starting to putt pretty good.
Here we go.
Starting to really figure it out. We'll be streaming me playing PGA and other games at when the time is right.
That's right.
But I was listening to him talk about Bogdanovich. Like, this guy never misses. He's
Never.
0 for 4 from 3. I bet on him and Luka to have 6+ 3-pointers in the game.
Yep.
They did not. Bogdanovich has his worst game ever shooting. Luka decides I'm showing up in a monster truck, but I'm not going to do what I do every other time I play fucking basketball. I don't fully understand how it works. But we get back on it tonight. Ain't that right?
I thought he was
Goddamn
going
right.
for 50.
50.
Sure pulling up in that shit.
As soon as I
was.
saw that, that thing has 8 wheels in the back.
Yeah.
That thing's sweet.
He
So
was
awesome.
planning on it.
I assume it's terrible to drive, difficult to get around.
Oh, yeah.
You're not doing any U-turns. Can't take it around the neighborhood unless you got one of them long driveways, which I assume Luka does, and it'll only be growing longer and longer as he continues to do what he does. You show up in that Jeep truck, though,
Yep.
maybe 60 points.
Yeah. Dad's in the stands, too, all the way from overseas.
It's all right. Today we win.
Here we go. Come on now.
Joining us on stage like he has been all year. We can't thank him enough for it. We used to know Coach P's keys because he would take us inside 2 team meeting rooms for Thursday Night Football, but now we're just getting a chance to listen to him chat. And there's no better time than right now to be chatting with this man because he's obviously been a head coach in the NFL. He's been a coordinator in the NFL. He's been a position coach in the NFL. He's coached in college. He's coached for like 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, our coach, Chuck Pagano. Chuck, let's dive right into it. We're in the middle of like coach interview season right now, and we've been I didn't expect this to become something that I was going to talk about, but it has seemingly become something that I am talking about. This coach's interview thing happening in the middle of the most important time of year for these teams, I think is dumb. I think it's a bad look. I think it's not good for anybody. And I think there should be some sort of way to fix this for the coaches. What are your thoughts on it? And what did you interviewed the day after you lost, right? So there was no real grief, so it wasn't in the middle of the season. But how do you fix this? Can you fix this? And what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think it would be extremely difficult. Can you imagine that, like Kyle thinking about D'Amico, right? And D'Amico thinking about this opportunity. It's a chance of a lifetime, right? There's only 32 of these teams. You're prepping for the biggest game, okay, of your life, the division round, right? And you also have to get ready for an interview, regardless whether it's virtual. I think last week was virtual. This week can be virtual and in person. I can't imagine that. So I didn't have to go through that process. But to me, I think you just make it a level playing field, move it all to the end of the season. After the Super Bowl, there's been a lot of talk. And I think people are abusing it. I think there's like 12, 15 interviews at maybe here in town They've already interviewed 12 guys. or
What's
15
normal?
Guys.
Is that normal? Or is that feels like that's
That's a lot. Yeah, they have more positions to fill, though,
No,
right? So,
but since COVID and they can go virtual, you're just throwing out a bunch of deals, right? And whoever's on the list, everybody's got the guys on the list and they're looking at them. To me, it's more of, okay, check that box and eliminate. And you're also doing research. You're gathering intel because you get all these guys on the virtual, and you interview them all. Then it's like, okay, they're in your conference, they're in your division. You're picking their brain is what you're doing,
and wasting their time.
and wasting their time. But you're gathering into, hey, what about personnel? How do you guys do personnel? How about the roster construction? What do you guys think about this guy? How do you practice? So you're getting all this guy's philosophy and trying to gather as much information as you can, and also just eliminating when you know, okay, who are the top 3 guys out there every year? You know the top 3 or 4. Sean this year at the top of the list.
D'Amico.
D'Amico's at the top. Ben pulled himself out. He's going to stay at Detroit. And who knows why that happens? Is it he get a feel like, okay, I'm not in this conversation. I don't have an opportunity to visit. Or maybe like D'Amico 2 years ago, he interviewed and said, you know what? I need to go do this another year. I need another year of seasoning. I want to coordinate another year. Gain that experience, all those kind of things. But
It's an interesting dynamic because, like, D'Amico Ryans, he'd be an idiot to say no to a head coaching interview. Like, there's only 32 of those jobs.
Right.
The money for a head coaching job, so much different than a coordinator job. Everybody talks about it's what you work for. And also, you get to build a team in your own view, like in your own vision. That's what you get into coaching for. But allegedly, I don't know if it's true, he had 4 interviews this week. 4 interviews. And everybody's talking about the Dallas Cowboys obviously having 2 less days than the Niners. The Niners are number 2 seed. They're going to get some benefits. And the people that are complaining about it are doing it on TV. TV's the reason why they only have so many.
Right.
So it's like a conversation that kind of runs in a circle. Is it fair? No. It's the fucking playoffs, though. That's the way it's going to work. And on the flip side, is it fair that D'Amico Ryans has to both prepare for the biggest game he's ever coached? Because to your point, Kyle Shanahan, what was it, 27-3?
28-3.
28-3, Kyle Shanahan was a part of. They got a team, let alone against the Chiefs a couple years ago. They could have won a Super Bowl. Shanahan has not won a Super Bowl as a head coach. This is huge, his guy. So now we get to our biggest game with our best. I mean, D'Amico Ryans' defense is a massive reason why their team is where they are. And this dude's got to prepare for 4 different fucking interviews. And I don't understand how this is a thing, honestly. And we know that they'll cheat. We know that somehow this will get backdoored, just like the tampering period became like a legal tampering period because they literally couldn't stop it. So like, fuck it, can't beat them, join them. We'll call it a legal tampering period. You could do that with the coach's agents, I think. But I think we should allow an out for D'Amico Ryans to not lose an opportunity that he has certainly earned and allow him to say like, I'm opting to do this in the postseason or whatever. Is it fixable? And do you feel that way? AJ, though, was right. Because AJ brought up yesterday, so what, teams are just going to have no head coaches for like 4 or 5 weeks? They can't do that, obviously, when they're trying to set everything up. I don't know if you can fix it, I guess.
That's the downside of it. Ideally, you'll want it where, everybody has the same time frame after the season, but to AJ's point, you don't want to sit there without a head coach. And then for D'Amico, you would just hope for him, if it is a situation where he's saying, look, I just want to focus on this game, that whatever team it is that is interested in him, they really like him. Like, hey, this is the guy we really want, and we'll wait around for it. And sometimes, you may, while waiting, you may interview somebody else and fall in love with that candidate. So I'm not sure how many times, these owners or GMs actually go into these interviews not already knowing, like, hey, we're going to interview these 5 or 6, but we already know it's between these 2.
Chuck, did you think you were going to get the job when you wanted to talk to the Colts?
I had no idea. I didn't even know once
Did
we
Jim
got
go to the bathroom?
For how long?
How long
Did
does Jim
Jim go to the
bathroom?
bathroom whenever you were in the middle of your interview?
He walked out of the door after he talked he was in there for the first hour and then left and never came back. So I don't know where he went.
So this
I
guy
don't think
takes a massive dump.
Yeah, the guy one took a shit in McDaniel's house.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this is breaking news.
Yeah.
This is from ML Football, which paid $8 or has a check mark. Original story came from Dan Dockich here in Indiana.
Yep.
Superhero.
His sources in the building have told him Dan Dockich is
Big fan.
Yeah.
Dan Dockich is, for if you don't know Dan, like on a personal level, I could see how you could potentially get mad at everything Dan says, but you have to respect that Dan Dockich is going to always be Dan Dockich until Dan Dockich is no longer on this earth. And us around Indy, we've got to know him. He has said terrible things about Chuck. He has said terrible things about, like, this is just Dan Dockich.
Dan.
How he
This is
operates.
Dan Dockich. It's just like, he's always going to be that way. And We've met him a couple different times. I've seen him in person a lot. I've hung out with him a lot. The guy is so transparent and authentic. He's just always him.
Yeah, he had a banger of a tweet this morning too. Foxy showed me, boy. His fastball's still clocking in, 99, 101.
He's gotten into the politics world fully.
Bingo.
So
Big time.
I don't even. And I talked to him on. We were on a golf course over here. We ran into him. I'm like, how do you get into the politics world, man? Like that's crazy. Like I would never want to do that. Like there's no change anything. He's like, I love that. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah,
you
do.
are.
And that's what it was about this morning too.
You are perfect for politics. So, but Dan Dockage been in Indy a long time. A lot of connections in Indy, a lot of them. So he was the one that broke this news yesterday. Then it got recycled out here. Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels' wife made him pull the plug on the coach job offer after having owner Jim Irsay in their home in Massachusetts and observing his odd behavior that included being in McDaniels' family bathroom for a very long and awkward period per Dan Dockage. So this guy just had to take a shit.
Yeah.
Jim Irsay had to take a shit, and he didn't use the family bathroom. I don't know, is every bathroom a family bathroom in somebody's house?
interesting.
I'm not 100% sure. Jim had to take a shit. Have you ever seen Jim take a shit? What's the standard length of time of Jim Irsay's shits? And then on the flip side, is there some things about Jim Irsay that if you've never met him before, you would be like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, but this guy's also a billionaire. Knowing him better than all of us. You know him better than I do. You've had to interact with him a lot more than I have. Could you see that some people would see some of the things Jim Irsay does as being a little bit different than others?
Well, I think that's probably, everybody would think that, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what we're saying. He's a fucking billionaire named Jim Irsay. He has a museum
Right.
of
And you know him like, we love the guy. He is a great human being.
heart.
Unbelievable. Most generous dude. People don't understand who he takes care of and how he takes care of them, how long players that go all the way back when he was, in his 20s and 30s that may be struggling. I mean, he just gives to everybody.
Yeah, a lot of brothers.
Yeah.
He takes care of a lot of people. And that's just his passion. So I mean, he never came down to my office and because I had a restroom in there and never
Nice. You got a
never
nice
used
bathroom.
that. And I was in his quite a bit and had a lot of conversations and never really left for a long period of time, during those conversations. So I don't know where they
I
got
wonder what he
their-
ate. What was it up there in Master? What did they feed him?
Yeah, exactly.
true.
Can we get a little bit more?
Chowder.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
might have had some chowder.
Some
he
beautiful
might have had
made
Couple lobster
lobsters.
rolls.
Yeah, a couple
Cohogs or whatever you call them.
some cod up there. I think the
And there
thing
was
is
a
he might
powder
have.
family bathroom. You got as you go in, there's a
Oh, see,
family
I don't know
room.
what a
It's a
family-
little powder room by the kitchen or by the, egg to go in the backyard. So it isn't like you went
Maybe.
to
You raised a
bedroom or something.
You raise a good point though, because if he had a tummy ache, he might have taken a shit and jerked off in there to make it feel a little bit better.
Sometimes you,
Sometimes that works. If
you have to clear all the
You
pipes.
do. If your stomach hurts really bad, really the only way you're like, all right, well, shit, I just had a bad diarrhea. Now what am I going to do? It still hurts. I'm going to have to jerk off too.
Yeah.
Write that one down.
I didn't know that was. I didn't know that one.
I don't know.
That's that's nature's Tylenol.
Exactly. It's possible. I'm not saying it's, guaranteed, but
And pee too, because you got to get rid of
Oh my
all
God,
bodily.
Nick, do you remember we had that friend?
Of course.
Canadian Sunday.
Yeah.
This guy was awesome. So this guy, I guess, we were up in Canada. He was a little boozed up, and either to go to bed or in the morning he felt sick. He tried to do a little bit of nature's. He didn't flush.
Oh.
So he came back later, he pooped, and he looked on his poop, and he saw, obviously,
a couple swimmers in there.
his semen and poop, and he had a lot of questions about what was going on in his life. And obviously, it was just called a Canadian Sunday. The guy woke up to relieve himself early in the middle of it, and we ran with that story for a good 72 hours while we were in Canada. It was tough to do.
That's
but
Canada, baby.
I'm happy to hear that has reached Iowa as well. This guy, he lived by it. He was like, got to do it, got to do both or whatever. He just forgot that he had Could you imagine if that was Jim Irsay doing a Canadian
be.
Sunday up there?
It's very possible.
Jim's lived.
Do you have back issues too then?
A lot of people saying Jim was doing drugs in that bathroom.
What?
Exactly, Ted. I'm just telling you, that's what a lot of people are saying on the
Jim
internet.
doesn't feel like a
wasn't-
guy that needs to go to the bathroom for that.
No, but I think just automatically saying that is interesting because Jim has obviously battled his demons publicly. Everybody has seen it happen, and that's going to take place whenever you become a general manager of a team, whenever you're like 34 and an owner of a team, when you're like 36 and your dad was the previous owner, and everybody sees your entire life unfold. But if any of you people that judge Jim Hart ever met him, you'd fucking love the guy. He's maybe the coolest billionaire I've ever encountered. I mean, he abuses some things.
Sure.
Like he was taking his helicopter out of his house's backyard in the middle of a community.
Oh.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
That's like that's what we're saying. If we were in Jim's position,
It wasn't a silent helicopter.
they had to. Yeah, they actually had to create a new law in the town that no helicopters were allowed to be taken
Noise
off from
ordinance.
private residences after midnight before 6 a.m. Anyways, though, Jim is a classic human being.
He wasn't
And-
flying it.
Certainly not. No. No. Well, maybe. I didn't get the full follow.
Okay.
Pilot, maybe.
Jim is a classic dude, though. So he might have just been taking a poop. We have no idea. But with that being said, if that's why McDaniels didn't come, because his wife thought Jim's poops were a little bit too long or what he was doing up there, I don't know if you're going to find a billionaire that has just 0 transgressions, and we will move on
they've
from
all
that
got-
conversation. Joining us now is a man who's an absolute stallion. A man who I believe is up for a massive payday, and it should be coming because what he does on a football field is fantastic. From Wake Forest, left early. You know that he left early.
Okay.
I went to high school, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Played basketball and football. Originally going to go somewhere else. Transferred to Wake. Plays 2 years. Returns punts and plays on defense side of the ball. Pick number 54 or something like that for the Cincinnati Bengals coming up. Now he's 25 years old, up for a contract, and an absolute dog. Ladies and gentlemen, safety for the Cincinnati Bengals, Jesse Bates III. What's up, dude?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
Hey,
Appreciate you for having me.
I don't know if you just heard there. I read your Wikipedia page earlier today. Phenomenal story, dude, because you're so young. You're like 25 years old, and obviously the contract conversation's been happening a couple different years. But you play like an OG out there, man. You do incredible things on the football fields. We're all big fans of yours, so thank you for joining us. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
what are your thoughts on Lou Anarumo and that defense you guys are playing? Because obviously Joe Burrow gets talked about a lot, and I'm not saying the defense doesn't get chatted about a lot, but obviously in the state of football that we're in, the offense is going to steal a lot more of the headlines. Your defense is fucking awesome to watch play. Seems like you guys are all on a string. You fly around. What is it about Lou you think that has made your defense great, and what do you love about your defense?
Yeah, something that Coach Lou has done. He's created a very family-oriented type of group here in Cincinnati over my 3 years that I've been with them. Our defense is just so detailed. We play very hard for one another. I think, like I said, going back to creating that family atmosphere helps us communicate, helps us just talk on the same levels, ask the same type of questions, making sure we're seeing things through the same lens. So, yeah, man, we got a special group here for sure. I know that, Joey B and Joe Miggs, Chase, all those guys, they get a lot of love, but we got some ballers on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, it felt like last season, it was every other game you were getting an interception and turning the ball over, and then Hendrickson comes over there, his big ass with no tape or gloves on his hand. It was like just everything that kind of came together for the Bengals last year was fun to watch. It's nice to see you guys back in the same position. You're obviously taking on Josh Allen, who is an alien. Not that Joey Burrow isn't, but Josh Allen is an absolute alien. What do you have to do differently when preparing for a guy like Josh Allen, or is it we got to do us and then we can take on whoever? Is that the mentality?
Yeah, obviously every week kind of presents a different type of challenge. This week presents that you got a quarterback that can do it all. I think a lot of people make, they talk about his turnovers, but I think what makes him special, you see a lot of quarterbacks make turnovers and they continue to make the same mistakes. It seems like when this guy throws turnovers or gives up a fumble, he just goes out there and balls out and get it back. So like it never happened. So it's something that we've been talking about throughout the week is just continue to play team defense, do your 111 out there, and we'll be just fine.
The Buffalo Bills and you guys obviously had that Monday Night Football game in which the NFL world will remember forever. In doing so, game got canceled. 17-game season now becomes 16 games. Damar is healthy again, which is fucking great news for all parties. You guys genuinely believe, though, that this should be a home game. And speaking of home game, your stadium has become a tough place to play. Have you felt that in your time in Cincinnati? Has it been a little bit different these last couple of years, or are we just all getting to acknowledge it now or getting to see it now?
No, when you're winning, when you draft, a Joey B, that kind of helps people bring out, a large crowd. I remember those first 2 years, it almost felt like it was COVID. how quiet it'll be in stadiums at times. But yeah, man, it's something that we've been able to earn as a team. It makes the city of Cincinnati proud. It's something that they've been waiting for a very long time. So being able to play in front of them is definitely special, I think, and it's been loud as hell the last couple of weeks here. So
It is.
yeah, I think there should have been some type of neutral site this week, but hey, I like Buffalo. I think it'll be a pretty cool atmosphere.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. Obviously, how's the weather supposed to be? It's warm here in the Midwest. Do you know what? You guys keeping an eye on the weather up there?
Yeah, man, it's sunny over here, like 50 degrees here, but we may get some snow, a little 30 degrees. Not bad.
Well, I heard you guys are getting soft because you got an indoor facility now. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happens when you win ball games, man. You get a little treat here and there.
How has it been? Has that been a game changer at all? Extra reps, maybe going out a little bit earlier, staying a little bit later? Because I don't know if you know this because you're so locked in football. This particular program was very loud about you guys having to fit in between the field hockey and lacrosse teams at the University of Cincinnati bubble when you're preparing to play in the Super Bowl in 2022, whenever a $110 billion media rights deal was just signed for the NFL. So I've been always very, for the good of the team, need to have an indoor facility. Have you guys used it? Has it been something you think that has been beneficial? And what has it been like as a whole?
Yeah, last year we go on that little run, and I remember it snowing, and we're getting caught on these hills. These buses can't drive up the hills on our way to UC. So, yeah, I think they had to at some point make an indoor facility. So yeah, we utilize it pretty well. Zach does a really good job with our schedule, making sure we go in there for walkthroughs, and at times when it's cold or when it's raining out, we usually go inside there. So definitely something that as a player, you always want to have an indoor to utilize for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not because you don't want to practice outside because you're soft. It's like, I might be a little bit more motivated to go do extra shit if I don't have to deal with, traffic jams with snow and winter happening over my head. It's just, I think it's good. Have you seen I don't want to say an evolution, but like sponsor on the stadium? Right? Now we got an indoor facility. Make it to a Super Bowl. Your contract's up. Obviously, this is going to be something that's going to be chatted about. But have you felt a little bit of a difference around the Bengals building and program since having the success of making it to a Super Bowl?
Yeah. You see new things being hung up, new signs and, things starting to look a little bit more cool, I guess you can say.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's part of the process. It's part of building that building it the right way, and I think Zach has done a hell of a job of that.
What do you think about Zach? I saw him at a bar the other night, just like I saw him last year, giving game balls out to bartenders, and I saw the owner of that bar trying to get his own little self-plug in.
Yep.
Yeah, get my bartenders. All right, get off the microphone. Okay, please give Zach Taylor. I appreciate you doing your thing. But Zach Taylor feels like a guy, just like a bro almost. And at the beginning of his career, obviously we're all questioning, does this guy suck? Winning one game, two games? Like, why is this guy a head coach? Oh, because the Bengals don't want to fire him because they don't want to pay him. Then you get fucking Joey Burrow in there. You get a bunch of dogs on the defensive side. It's like this guy is not talked about at all. Incredible coach, incredible turnaround. What is it about him you think that makes you guys kind of hum for him?
Yeah, it's easy to play for Zach. He's been in those seats like us. He's been in those certain situations where his body isn't feeling well. I know he played quarterback, so quarterbacks get a little bit of love. But like I said, he understands the process. He understands the grind of the season. So anytime he speaks in front of the team, he's very detailed. He's very he knows exactly what he's talking about. As far as the players, treats everybody the same. He's just an offensive guru. So it's been cool to kind of be around Zach and continue to learn from him as well throughout the process.
Hell yeah. Darius has a question for you.
Yes, sir. Jason, first of all, love your game, man. Love watching you play, man. I want to get into the psyche a little bit. One of the best safeties in the league. What's one of the first things you look at when you're breaking down a quarterback? And then obviously, what are the biggest challenges you see with Josh Allen coming in this week?
Yeah, I think as a safety, you start the week off breaking down the film. You try to see who the top targets are, what are some of the top concepts that they run out of certain formations, splits. There's a whole lot of detailed game plan stuff that you think about as you go into the week. But like I said, you got your hands full with the guy that can extend plays and then also the ball 70 yards down the field as he extends the play. So plaster rules. I'm sure you know all about that.
Yep.
Will be up and going for sure.
Hey, for those that don't know, plaster means what? Hands-on receiver as soon as he gets out of the pocket? Is that right?
Continue to guard him, grab him, do whatever you got to do.
I didn't know. I feel like I'm a smart football guy, though. All of a sudden, thank you, D-Bud, for that.
D-Bud.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that outside the pocket you're allowed to just basically fuck a guy up. I had no idea that was the case. That's a lot going on, I guess. I should have known that, but obviously you do. If you don't, that's a rule. You should know that. All right, just want to let you know. Gabe Davis, he's
Yeah.
hey. We got to Hey, hold on though. We got to if Gabe scores an 85-yard touchdown or longer, we said we donate $85,000 to a foundation of his choice. He then said, "Well, how about $85,000 to me though, too?" Like, so we're like, "All right, we'll match that as well." If you get a pick this weekend, do you have a foundation or anybody that you work with?
Yeah, I have my single mother's foundation that I would love for you guys to donate a couple thousand or so. We'll have to get that together.
All right, we'll go 50,000. 50,000 you get a pick this weekend. We'll donate, and we're not giving you the money too because you got a bag on the way.
Yeah.
you got a bag on the way. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Jesse, what was the thought when you're watching Sam Hubbard sprint 98 yards for that touchdown the other day? Was there any conversation on the sideline after that, and did you help him maybe apply that oxygen mask because I assume he's never ran that far in a game before?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I think we played the Raiders last year, and he had a similar fumble recovery like that, and he just damn near fell on his face. So for him to rumble and tumble and go to the end zone on that play, and then a kid being from Cincinnati, the Cincinnati kid, in the playoff game here in Cincinnati, it couldn't have been a better story for him. Guy works his ass off every day, day in and day out. So I mean, he deserves it, man. He deserves exactly what he got there.
I know you're from Fort Wayne, went to school at Wake. You know what an Ohio fuck is, right? I mean, you've been around them. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been around.
Yeah. Is Sam that, right? Ohio State guy from Cincinnati. I assume he just has all the traits that are great from the state of Ohio.
Yeah, he's just a Cincinnati guy. He's a Cincinnati kid. That's what I call him. He's the perfect. He's damn near going to be a mayor here probably someday. So.
Oh, so he is. He is the Ohio fuck almost. That is amazing.
He's the Ohio guy.
Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Jesse, obviously you haven't been in the league a super long time, but you've been in the league long enough now to kind of know. We always talk about how it seems like now when guys are coming into the NFL, receivers at least, like they hit the ground running and they're kind of just ready to go more so than maybe they were when you first got into the league. Like, I mean, obviously with Jamar on your team, that's kind of like the perfect example of that. Have you noticed that as you've kind of gotten a little bit older that like these young guys coming in either do more or they make an impact more early in like the season and early in their careers?
Yeah, I think any good player that comes into the league, they try to grab a couple things from some of the professionals that's already been in there, and then you got really good quarterbacks in this league now where everything's timing and offensive coordinators are so good at getting these guys a catch and run type of opportunities. So yeah, it's definitely the game continues to evolve and. These offense coordinators, these offensive players period in the NFL are just continue to go up. So, yeah, something that you see as my 5 years being in it.
Feels like everybody's training harder at a younger age. Like back in the day, those one-on-ones and 7-on-7s had to be like fully orchestrated and you had to have a group to go. Now it's like dudes are just making content by running one-on-ones on each other. So contested catches are being like every single day because they're trying to moss somebody, or on the DB side trying to get up and break something up. It feels like it's just like a change in how we view working in the football world. You feel that as well, or no, am I way off?
No, I think it's the same way. It's weird being in the locker room with 2,000 babies. It makes me damn near feel old. I feel like a lot of the younger guys they want to catch the ball so they can damn gritty in the end zone and stuff. So that's stuff I always joke about with younger guys.
Yeah, you're an old man, bro. Fucking 25. You're an old man. You get a pick, we'll donate $50,000, and thank you for doing that. I read your story, so the Single Mothers Foundation is a cool thing, man. Keep making the world a better place. Keep dominating. Can't wait to see the bag you get and how you play this weekend in Buffalo.
Pat, I appreciate you, man. Y'all take care. God bless.
Hey, you too, man. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Is it Jesse Bates the third?
Jesse Bates the third from Fort Wayne, Indiana, signing out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anytime you could be the third or something, that's sweet.
Yes.
Add
wonder-
the triple sticks.
What if you're the second? Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're the second, sometimes you go by Deuce, right? And
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like or Junior.
Or Junior.
Junior.
Or Junior.
Yeah, Tom Brady, he's a junior.
Tom, Edward,
Patrick.
Brady.
The second.
He kissed his dad on the mouth again
Yep.
the other night. Walking off. What's going on, Darius?
No, you just bring that up. It's funny.
Well, that's who we're talking.
Yeah, what do you mean?
His dad.
That's big in Italian families.
Is it?
And in
Is he Italian?
No, but it's big in the,
It is.
and unfortunately now it's a little different, but in the Brazilian families as well. So I assume that might.
What's sucking on the back of your kid's neck?
Yeah, both of those. Yeah.
Just being affectionate, showing your love.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about? Me and my father have never locked
Kissed on
lips
the mouth?
ever.
You guys were never on the road or something, and you just
No,
you know
no.
what, Dad? Thanks.
No, that's not our family's thing.
Okay.
But I try not to judge others, that do it. Every time it happens with Tom, though, everybody goes, Tom
Guy's a weirdo.
Tom just kisses.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it does happen, though. I guess it is something that takes place.
Jesse get franchised this year?
I think so.
Yeah,
Right?
did.
He held
didn't
out,
sign
right?
it.
He was not happy about
Yeah,
it.
he didn't sign it. And then
Oh,
Luke,
so he didn't sign it.
no, for a while.
Yeah.
Did sign it.
Late in
Before.
training camp, right? Came in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess Lou Anarumo was doing a lot of recruiting whenever that franchise tag thing. I guess Lou is a massive part of him signing the franchise tag, coming back. Happy they're having success. He's going to get paid, right? That guy's a fucking
Should.
guy.
Oh, yeah.
He should definitely be right in
What
that
type of scheme? What type of
top,
scheme? Does it matter for
I
him?
feel like he can play in any scheme, but he dominates the deep part of safety. You heard him talking about studying concepts and formation and stuff. When you watch the tape, he's been on Everything DB a couple times. He anticipates things, great ball skills. I even think Von Bell, who has had a great year too, playing next to him, his ball production is also going up too. So I don't know if that's being around Jesse, but great player, great young player too. Obviously got a lot of tread left on that tire.
He said these 2000 babies.
Yeah.
He's born 1997 or 19, whatever.
98.
98.
Yeah,
whatever
very
it is.
close too. He was with Burrow too. Like they're very close. When you met Burrow at the UFC event, I believe he was with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was
course.
them too at that event.
Burrow also came out and said, we got to pay this guy. He needs to be a Bengal. We can't let him go.
You just brought up that UFC night.
Yeah,
Joey Burrow was the coolest looking motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
by a mile.
Have you heard about this, Chuck? I was at the UFC event with, I was there with Nick Khan, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Vince McMahon. It was immediately after, so that was the night.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
It was right after, what was the premium live event over there?
SummerSlam?
SummerSlam in,
Corner.
was it?
Cheeto.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was that,
No.
right? Because
Was it Money in the
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. I think it was Money in the Bank.
yeah.
SummerSlam was in
Year-
Allegiant Stadium. That was the
year before.
That's
Right.
Steve.
Cheeto, Awuzie, corner.
Great name.
Awuzie.
Nigerian flag on the chain.
Colorado, right?
Is that Otis behind him?
Played for the Buffs.
Yeah, that is Otis.
No, that's fucking, what's his face? That's a chef. The
RVD.
rapper.
Oh,
Action Bronson.
Action
Yeah.
Bronson.
Oh, that must have been the section over there.
Bam Bam Baklava?
Who's that?
Action Bronson.
He's got a bunch of names.
He's
I
fu-
didn't know that was one of them, but
I've gotten high with him talking about aliens on TV before.
Yeah.
Me and old Action Bronson. He's getting in shape right now.
yeah, he's getting yoked up.
At this UFC event, it was when Stylebender came out to the Undertaker's entrance
Bingo.
and fought somebody. It was boring. It was a boring fight.
Yeah.
It was not a.
I don't even remember. who
Blockbuster
really
fight.
fought. It was so boring.
But we were there, and in between one of the fights, remember Miles Teller was there? Now I'm
Yep.
going through it all. Chris Pratt was
yep,
there.
yep.
Just
Shaun
got done
White.
talking about how bad Jurassic World was. Chris Pratt's 2 doors down. Then us and Miles Teller were in the middle of that because the story that broke,
Little spat.
Yeah.
because he's 3 doors
That
down.
was
Yep.
before Tahoe, too. So.
Yeah, before, didn't get a chance to chat with him. He's a cool fucking guy,
Yeah,
by
great
the way.
dude.
Obviously never met him. Quite a miscommunication. I did not create. Once again, I'd like to go on the record and state that I feel very comfortable in how we covered it all.
Yes.
Because we did not break the story other people did, but we were the
Yes.
ones that got corrected and then publicly ridiculed. But to Miles' point, he thought we were the ones that,
Broke.
Perpetuated it.
yes. And that was just classic misunderstanding. Cool guy, love everything about him. But at that moment, I had a neck brace on.
Yep.
Because Baron Corbin had just cheap shotted me.
Right.
Son of a-
True.
Walk in, Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, me. then Nick Khan, obviously. And they put us right behind Stylebender's corner. I mean, I'm in his corner for the fight there. What a joke of a life. That is literally what I'm probably saying throughout the entire thing. And then whenever we fucking stand up in between fights, that's like a meet and greet time for everybody in this area. And I don't think we knew that that was the proper protocol. So, like, in between fights, you stand up, stretch your legs, and then people come in, like, a full-on. The Nelk boys came over. It was nice to meet them officially, let them know, like, hey, love the way you guys fucking just work your asses off. It's real cool. And then somebody – and I was obviously on some vitamins there and maybe some scotch.
What?
And, you know, other things like – very expensive scotch, by the way, if you very expensive.
Johnny Walker?
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
Blue?
I believe it was, yes. That was exactly what it was. And then somebody walks over,
Man knows the Scotch.
sunglasses on, and wealth, sunglasses on, that hat on that he was wearing, and just goes, hey, just wanted to introduce myself and meet you in person or whatever. Very nice to meet you. I'm like, hell yeah, man. Very nice to meet you too. And I have no fucking clue who I'm talking to. And I like asked Triple H almost like, hey, will you introduce yourself real quick? And he goes, hey, very nice to meet you. My name's Paul or something like that is what Triple H said. And he goes, hey, Joe is my name. And I go, oh, fuck, you're Joey Burrow. Oh, my God, you were the coolest guy of all time because with the way the light was hitting, he had a shadow, like, over half of his face, and the only thing you saw was, like, the cleanest, most professional jawline and cheeks of all time. And then we talked for, like, 4 or 5 minutes or whatever. He is literally the coolest fucking guy of all time. That team is young. And seems like has all the right parts. Now, the offensive line being hurt is a huge deal. That's a bummer that they're going to have to go back through this whole thing with a lot of the pieces that they added not being there because of injury. But that team's set up for the long haul if they can pay people, Chuck, and that's a big part of the whole thing.
No doubt about it. And it seems like, you know, Zach's done a great job because you're always worried about the letdown, right? Taking your foot off the gas and you lose the Super Bowl. So you have that motivation to get back. But it's hard to stay, you know. We know adversity is hard to overcome, but success even harder. So it sounds like Zach and Lou and the rest of that staff, they've done an amazing job of keeping this team hungry, keeping them grounded, and they obviously have the players. They got talent, but it seems like all those guys are competitive as hell.
You didn't. I don't know if you. I'm not going to say you created this quote, but I think you were the first person to say this quote in my life. When you win, there's enough to go around, right?
Yep.
Is that? But that doesn't necessarily mean here either. Like when you win, there's enough to go around. Doesn't mean all the pieces are going to be here. Whenever you win, everybody gets expensive.
So Jimmy, when I was at Miami the first time in 1986, and Jimmy Johnson was the head coach, and we had a team that was like that team. We won every game. Went to the national championship game, Fiesta Bowl, and lost to Penn State that year, 14-10.
Penn State.
We had 500.
Yikes.
We had like 500 yards. They had 150 yards.
Wow.
But Vinny, that was when Vinny came back and he threw 5 picks in that game.
That's
But that team,
Vinny
there were
just catching ricochets.
17 guys, you know, drafted off that team. And so Jimmy used to tell them, hey, when we win, there'd be enough cheese to go around. And he was a master at just communicating with these guys and let you be yourself. But that's what he always said. When you win, there'll be enough cheese to go around. So,
and in the NFL, it's the same thing. Doesn't necessarily mean here. They're going to have to figure out and prioritize who they're going to pay, who they're not going to pay.
Yeah.
And obviously, the Brown family, and this is no surprise to anybody, more specifically Cincinnati Bengals fans, they don't necessarily have all the cash in the world.
No.
I enjoy the – now, they're rich compared to humans.
The average Joe.
But whenever you're talking about NFL owners, they are not in that realm of some of the other teams that can afford to fuck around and just pay, put money in escrow, guaranteed cash. They're going to have to strategize that. I'm excited to see how they handle it.
Well, especially with the positions they have to pay. Like we're about to see what the highest wide receiver contract of all time with Justin Jefferson. I assume Jamar Chase is going to come in right at that same number, if not a little more.
And we're about to see the largest quarterback deal of all time with Lamar Jackson.
Exactly.
And Joey Burrow's coming right behind that, and he's already accomplished more.
Well, and that's what they could do, is that they could get ahead of that and go ahead and pay Joe.
Not, right?
Soon.
Joe needs to wait.
Oh, yeah, he should wait. But if they were
He should wait for Herbert's.
If he were to get a Mahomes deal, though, they could push Lamar out just by doing that. If they gave him a 10-year, $500 million, then they can move stuff. They can pay the O-line still. They can pay T. Higgins, who also is going to get paid, and Jesse Bates. Like these next 4 years, they have to sign so many players that they should probably do a Mahomes deal where they can move stuff around and still pay Joe Burrow a shit ton and get Lamar out of there.
Hey, good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Good problem to have.
Want to be there.
Also, some of those decision-making meetings are going to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Always a good problem to have too much talent, but then, okay.
Fuck.
All right, we all love every one of these players.
Yeah.
We've all gotten raises. Because
Wouzier, a corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he got hurt this year, but literally every Bengal almost that has come on, his name has come up somehow, some way. He's a dog at the corner position. It's like you said, it's a tough. It's a good problem to
Jonah
have.
Williams, I don't think they paid.
Yeah,
Jamar.
I mean that's why they get paid the big bucks, man, to make these decisions. And then another thing that happens when you start winning, enough cheese to go around, you start losing good coaches too.
Yes.
They start going and taking other
Yeah,
jobs.
because Lou's been in the conversation, and you hope a guy like that continues to be in there and he gets an opportunity. Who knows if he will?
Does he go? Is our show the only show that Lou goes on? I think it's because his kid is
I
a
would
fan
think
of the
so.
show,
Yeah,
of
I
the
think
program.
so.
That's not necessarily the first thought of a lot of coaches. Like, all right, I'm gonna go waste some of my time talking to these fucking idiots in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
But he has always been like very cool. We sent a request, and I forget when it was, last year before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was the week before.
We sent a request in assuming that it was going to get denied or whatever. Then he comes on, and then they told us, like, guys, kid's a massive fan. Like, he was very excited to be asked. He'll come on whenever he wants. So we try not to abuse that. But every time he comes on, the way he speaks, the way he lays out how he goes about doing things,
Yeah.
and it seems like if you watch the team play, they buy into fucking everything. What an incredible football coach they got going on. And Cincinnati, I might be wrong, also got to do some scouting too, right? As a coach, you got to do some of the draft scouting and stuff like that.
They were on the road all the time. When I was coaching at the Ravens and wherever, and you go and work out DBs, like I saw their DB coach, like I had to go to 4 or 5, maybe 6. Like they're at every single one. That was who did the scouting. So the personnel department was like minute, and those guys
No,
did it
no,
all.
no. That's old school. It keeps it tough, just like the indoor facility. You know, and the Bengals fans that attack me for pointing these things out, like, you guys made it to a Super Bowl with fucking less than everybody. If you just have half the amount that everybody else has, your team should go ahead and win it. But I guess that is kind of what makes the Bengals, though. And I assume that chip on the shoulder type family mentality is something that makes them better.
Well, what did he just say? Well, us against the world now? Joey B type of deal?
Yeah, my window's my career.
When he's on the road,
that
that's how
was-
they like it.
Neutral site, yeah, I was wrong on that. And I'm not scared to say that. I'm not scared to say I was wrong. When I'm wrong, I'll say I was wrong. Me questioning the Bengals fans being outraged by the decision for the Monday Night Football game and what happened and how it happened.
Yep.
How quickly they started being outraged, I think, was my immediate, like, what the fuck are these? You guys don't even remember. We were like 2 days ago. We thought a guy was dead. Different circumstances. Now that this game is in Buffalo as opposed to Cincinnati, it's like, oh, this is why they were pissed.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense because Cincinnati has become home field advantage now.
For sure.
Like that is, and obviously Buffalo is home field advantage up there in Buffalo with their fans. Now, their offense, not necessarily the one that you would think would be able to go in Buffalo and handle the Buffalo, but Josh Allen's hands are the size of this fucking thing. He's able to do everything in the cold weather that everybody else has to be able to do in the warm weather. But I assume Joe Burrow won't be phased at all. I assume they'll be good to go.
I mean, they had to go on the road, damn near every playoff game last year, I think, except for the Raiders game in that opening round. So it's like they're used to it. They're, kind of built for tough. And
Home's much nicer, though.
To your point, though, Pat, like now is the time.
To be outraged.
Yes. Let it eat now.
So I was right a little bit. Okay, cool. Thought so. So
Yeah.
I'm not fully
fuck it.
wrong.
It's too late now.
What?
It's time to play ball now. The haze in the barn at this point just like, but it is a big difference playing in, what do you say, 50s?
50s right now, rain,
50s
yeah.
and whatever it is.
What's
in
going
Buffalo
on
now.
over here? A lot of rain last night. I had to
Yep.
check.
Lot
Is
of
it-
rain.
Is it January? What is it? January?
Yeah.
What? This would be snow normally, right?
Should
Yeah.
be. It'll pick up over these next 2 months because I assume we will have some cold April days because of days like today and yesterday.
Oh, you think we're renting happiness from the future
Bingo.
for right now?
I mean, remember May last year? We had a 60-degree day and then boom, 35 degrees in May.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to play in Cincy on Sunday.
Why? What is it?
It's like 38 and rain. Buffalo's a little colder, but it's potentially snow. You don't want to play cold rain.
We want snow.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry about it, Cincy. Your season ticket holders that thought they had a divisional round game
Oh, boy.
paid a lot of money, ready to showcase the jungle to the world in a divisional round game against the Buffalo Bills.
It's a lot of revenue.
Oh yeah,
That's Joe Burrow's. That's going right into
contract.
That's going right in.
They were pissed too about the Ravens' possibility of them having the coin flip. Like, so they had a couple things stacked up in that immediate.
Well, that particular one though, everybody was like, just beat the Ravens.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that was tough. That was tough, but they were just thinking ahead that they were even in this. Joe Mixon also upset that they're selling neutral site tickets for the Atlanta AFC Championship game if the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs were to play there. And Joe Mixon says, to be honest, it's disrespectful, but we're not worried about that. Not worried about that shit. We got a game to play on Sunday, right? Like I said, we're going to go out there on Sunday. We're going to do what the hell we got to do to come back with that dub. And then we're going to see what they're talking about, which I respect. Joe Mixon should say this. I will follow up with, this is an abnormal situation. Normally season ticket holders and stuff have the tickets already bought and purchased, and this thing's already been figured out. So they probably just want to get ahead of it. But I like that Joe Mixon said, what did that coach say about me? Like Michael Jordan in the restaurant in Utah, and you get pissed off about it. Anything to build the chip, I'm here for. But it seems like logistically they had to do this, Darius.
Had to do it. But I'm just looking forward to this weekend of games, man. Especially this one. I'm surprised. What's your thoughts, Tone, on this line moving? Did it move a little
Where's it
bit?
going?
Another
What's it
point
doing?
towards
Is it
Buffalo?
4.5 still? This
I
one?
saw 5.5
This one, I can
One
tell
of
you
us
that
saw
in
us.
the divisional, ATS, the dogs have had their way the last 20 years, especially the one seeds have not been good at covering off of a bye. I believe, I can't remember, 224 and
Yeah,
one or
it's
something
bad.
like. But the dogs in divisional round have been the better of the against the spread picks in this round. I can tell you that.
Three starters out on the offensive line. That's huge.
That's probably. I mean,
That's why.
But if any team has been able to handle that, it has been the Bengals.
Yep.
Joey Burrow has been able to get his head dislodged from his body mid-game. Remember that? What was that, last year?
Yep.
Yeah, it was last year.
Week 5 or 6.
Philadelphia.
Head here with helmet.
Yep.
Body here without head.
Yep.
Dahn, off field, one play, back out, tie game.
That's right.
They tied.
Yeah, happened against the Packers too.
And then in the playoffs, he's getting 7 times sacked, 8 times sacked,
Wide.
9 times sacked, 7 times sacked.
Wide.
First week of this season, I think it was 7 times getting sacked.
Oh, yeah.
8 times getting
Against
sacked.
Steelers, yeah.
I mean, they did not have it fixed early in the season, and they've still been able to have success. Not that that's a good thing that they're used to this, but it does seem like they are used to a potential Swiss cheese offensive line when it matters the most. They tried to fix it. Injuries happen. That's going to suck. But that is a big deal, especially against this Buffalo defense.
I was kind of shocked when I was looking at it this week. They are 29th in the league in running the ball, attempts and yardage. Like they don't run the ball at all, which I was kind of
Well,
surprised.
P. Ryan had that run there for a few weeks. I figured that would have
He had a couple of those were screen passes.
extension of run game.
Yeah, of course.
When are we going to start adding that into the analytics?
I'm sure they
Extension
have.
of the run game.
Extension.
Especially with what the Jags do. I mean, there was a couple runs last week where it was probably half a yard pass to ETN just swinging out of the backfield, whereas previous weeks it was a completed pass.
I saw a couple, I think, last week. I might be wrong. I'm seeing throws backwards
Yeah.
to running backs.
Long handoffs, Pat.
Yeah, that's what they're calling them. But
Long handoffs.
I always thought the coaching point was we don't throw that fucker backwards
Throw that
because
forwards.
we're going forwards. But it seems like now it's just
Debo
like
had
It's like
one.
hitting a crossing route.
Swing route.
And guys running, to the quarterback's right to left, and you put it on the inside shoulder, and it bounces off the pad, TY,
Pick.
and lands in Patriots' hands.
Hell
He was
yeah.
talking
You want to
about-
give him a runner's ball. So the guy's swinging, you don't want it back here. You want to lead him just a little bit so he doesn't break any momentum.
But I think it's also on the running back for where they're running. Like I think the way they run, 'cause
angle they
it
take.
seems like there's
That has to be detailed, but they always tell him to get a little bit of lose
bow.
a little bit of ground so that you're running forward when you catch this.
I don't know. I felt like people just haven't really. I don't know. I watched it maybe 2 times, and I was like, oh, people don't give a fuck anymore about this. Like that is. I remember people being very pissed off about that, just because what happens if that ball slips
Yeah,
and all of a
yeah.
sudden it's live, and all of a sudden we're going the other way. Make sure you're at least even, need to be even or whatever. And then in like playoff games, I think they're throwing it backwards. I'm like, oh, this must be the new thing that everybody's doing.
Well, and with how pass heavy all these teams that are left, basically, it's almost like if you have a running back that can catch, then you have 2 running backs, obviously, like with Dallas, with Pollard and Zeke, where it's like, hey, we're a little more comfortable with Tony Pollard catching the
Pollard
ball,
should be
or
getting
Mixon or ETN because they are so good.
Hey, he's different. Pollard's different.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
Juice.
He is.
Yeah.
He's just immediately dropped in, lightning rod.
Yeah.
in Zeke, I know he beats it up and everything. And Troy Aikman was talking about this whenever I was watching the game. He said, any of the people that are out there saying that Tony Pollard is just a scat back and whatever, he runs hard between the tackles. He runs everywhere. He said those people aren't watching the film is what Troy Aikman was calling out somebody directly. I don't know who Troy was in his mind had, but he was talking about Tony Pollard. He said he goes outside, he can catch, he'll run inside, he finds the hole, he drives, he breaks that. I mean, Troy was breaking it down like, this guy's a guy. And then you start reading the internet, and you start ex-players tweeting about it. It's like, hey, when 20's on the field, it is a different no offense to Zeke. We all love Zeke.
Right.
But it's like when 20's on the field, it's a different energy.
But don't you feel like if Zeke wasn't there, this guy'd be McCaffrey?
Oh, yeah.
As far as the touches, the amount of time they're going to
So that's what coaches have to think about, right? It's
No,
like
absolutely.
Because
they
we
don't
didn't
want
have to split
Because
this.
Jerry, I mean, he's beloved there, right? Zeke's his dude. And they say, hey, we go as Zeke goes. So you just can't sit there. You gotta take care of Zeke. You got to keep Zeke happy. So that's why he's still in there getting.
Is that directly from the owner?
There's conversations
In all places.
A lot of money,
there's
too.
conversations like, okay, this is all right. How do we, like you're saying, we got to pay everybody. You got to keep everybody happy too. You want everybody. You want the chemistry good. But
So,
if Zeke-
brother,
if Zeke-
we
if
pay the
Zeke-
guys. Is that happening? But let's not say in your situation. Never want to put you in a spot or anybody else in a spot. And Dallas is different because Jerry is allegedly hands-on with everything. But is it normal for owners to tell coaches, like, hey, this needs to become a little bit more of a priority for what you guys are doing? Has that happened mid-season, training camp, middle of the week? When does that normally take place?
Suggestions are probably thrown out there. Probably be a good idea. Maybe to do this or do that.
I never
And then,
said he ought to
you know,
Stephen Ross.
that makes a lot of sense to me.
Bingo. Different
You know?
situation
and,
too with Ellinger.
and we may pay a guy, and then all of a sudden he gets lost in the shuffle or whatever happens, and they go, okay, we just gave such and such this amount of money, and he's not touching the ball. Why is that happening?
I'd recommend we find out.
yeah.
Why are
I'm
we
gonna
paid?
write that down.
Okay,
and we're
so
gonna
that
get on
means-
we're going to get on that one.
I've heard a story, and it wasn't with our team, it was with another team, that the night before a game, owner called offense coordinator and said, hey, I think this game, old buddy who has not been a big part of offense yet, is rookie, is draft pick, I think this guy could be really good against this team. Don't you think that's the case? And offense coordinator was like, absolutely, and had to like literally draw up plays. Is that something that would happen normally, or is the story that I heard not a normal thing?
I think it's probably not a normal thing.
Okay. All right.
Cowboys too, with Jerry being GM. I'm sure he takes a little onus and like, hey, I picked this fucking guy. Like
I was on a yacht. You remember?
Yeah, I want to see him play.
Do you not remember? I was sitting on a yacht. I fucking made the pick. We get him the ball. All right. That would be crazy to be an owner. How much fun would that be?
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
owner
Kidding me?
GM.
You go take a massive shit in McDaniel's house. All of a sudden, it comes out years later.
Yeah. Don't go in there for 45 minutes.
Brother, we flew all the way to Massachusetts.
Light a match, bro.
Boy, I'd like to.
What if he did just take a massive, explosive, unapologetic shit
Yeah.
in the McDaniel's powder room because he had to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he just had to. The Bows were saying, hey, Jim,
It's time.
you know those little sweatpants you wear with that custom suit that you wear on top?
I can't believe it.
What's that?
I think he'd walk out of the interview. He'd get to that sprinter and get somewhere.
He does always have the sprinter on deck.
You know,
I mean, who says he didn't clog the toilet?
Yeah, it
either?
could have been
And
a
then
full
there's
Harry.
poop all over the
Full
floor.
Harry situation.
Yeah. I
They're
mean,
like
it would
call
have
pass.
it would have had to been like a top 5 most disgusting shit of all time for her to be like,
Shirt
you
off,
can't
for
take
sure.
this fucking job. You're not taking this fucking job. You remember what he did in our goddamn bathroom?
There's
Not
no
a
way
chance.
he had clothes
he was
on
on
for
the
that
deal,
shit.
texting Tex. Hey, Tex, we got an issue in here.
Texas is security guy, but the whole thought of Jim taking off his sport coat.
Yeah,
Oh,
hanging it
yeah.
up.
Dress shirt.
Full Dumb and Dumber situation,
Yeah.
possibly. Maybe
Harry.
even along came Paulie trying to fix the clog.
Jim Irsay, completely nude.
Oh my god.
I am so sorry what I did to your bathroom.
Yeah. They only had single ply. He needed wet wipes.
Texas road.
Yeah, I had a security guy
me a
wipe
head
his
coach.
butt. That
Love
could have
you,
been the
boss.
situation. What if his back or his arm hurt and he needed someone? Hey, Josh, you come in here and wipe
Imagine
my butt,
now we
please.
Could have been.
I can't reach it.
now we got to think about Jim telling this story to people that he's friends with. I took a shit and we had what was that? What was that? Him explaining his
What if
side.
he was in there and he didn't like the wife and decided, hey, I need to go in here and get on the phone with Ballard and say, hey, look, we got to try to find a way to get out of this deal.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, or to Ty's point,
Oh,
what if he liked her a little too much? Hang out with
Whose
him for a
point?
little bit.
No, he had a tummy ache. That was,
Whose
To
point?
Ty's point
Okay.
earlier.
yeah, he couldn't control himself.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Let's get to a break. That's big news. We're getting a little taste of the offseason, Reno.
Yep.
This offseason
Exactly.
conversation's
That's right,
happening in the
Pete.
middle of the divisional run.
Last 2 days with AB and now today.
Not Antoine Bethea.
No. Not.
Let's get to a break. Hour 2 will be on the other side with AJ Hawk. Can't wait for that. Also, Kenny Pickett will join us.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Be a friend, tell a friend that the Yinzers quarterback will be joining us 1:15 Eastern. That's
Here
13
we
minutes.
go.
Kenny,
Here we go.
Yo, you canny.
gonna ask him so many questions
Pumped.
about so many things.
Yep.
First things first, that hair. Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Rooney, ever take a dump in your parents' bathroom?
We got Von Miller joining us as well from the Buffalo camp. We had Jesse Bates on a little bit ago. AJ Hawk will join us. Darius is here. Chuck is here. It's a hell of a Thursday. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5. Let me tell a tale about this little blue can. Inside there's a nectar love from here to Japan. It's a vibe, it's a time, ice cold over lime, so sublime.
This shit is divine.
It's the beer of choice when you wanna rejoice. Hey yo boys, what's the noise? Hey yo boys, what's the noise? Well, us and Bud Light have made it a fish. We bring the stoogery, they bring delish. Feels like a genie just granted us a wish. Cause for all of us, it was love at first sip. Now be a bud, tell a bud to grab some Bud Lights. Going Drizzly Code is what? $5 off tonight. Going Drizzly Code is what? $5 off tonight. Cause if you're living life right and you're drinking Bud Light and you wake up in the morning and you fight the good fight, then you're doing A-okay, doing A-okay. Matter of fact, you're doing great no matter what they say. Now, be a bud, tell a bud to grab some Bud Lights. Going Drizzly Code is wide, $5 off tonight. $5 off tonight.
Wide.
He's got this moxie, Aaron, for being Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick. That seems to be a trait that the great quarterbacks have. And then if you don't have, the NFL can expose you. Is that why you think Purdy's having the success that he's having and why some guys don't have the same success as others?
For as many blue chippers who've had success in the league, there's been as many and often more who were not that. We're not the number one prospect coming out of their high school. We're not the number one guy coming out of college and the first pick in the draft. You know, obviously you know about Tom, 198 different options to take him. Joe Montana was the same way. It was passed up by a ton of people. For as many Peyton Manning, first pick in the drafts, there's been a ton of these other guys. And what it does is create this chip. And the chip can be an excellent motivator for the right disposition that feels like they need a little bit extra at various times during their career, or even in just a workout. The thought to motivate you a little bit more or inspire you, I think, is really, really important to success of people who can do that. Michael Jordan, you know, used to make things up, I think, at times to be motivated, but he was also cut from his high school team. That's a pretty good motivator. But Brock was passed over by a ton of people. He went to Iowa State, I believe. He has a lifetime worth of slights that he can pull from. The moxie part, I think, is one really, really important thing. I love to use that word. It's hard to define what exactly that is, but it's that kind of it factor that encompasses, I think, a lot of different things. How you handle your day-to-day, you know, like setting the huddle, bringing energy to practice, confidence, mastery of the offense, dealing with the media, dealing with your teammates, bringing people together, all those different things that make up an important part of the quarterback position that not every guy has. Some of it is just stuff you have, personality, likability, humor, charisma, all those different things, and some of it you can work on for sure. But he obviously has that moxie, and you can see it with his teammates. They love playing with him and hyping him up in the media and talking about him glowingly, and I have nothing but respect for the way he's played, and I love seeing the underdog. I mean, I feel like that was part of my career for a long time. Obviously different. I was picked in the first round, not the last pick, but I did go to junior college and, you know, dealt with that frustration that turned into definitely a chip I could deal with. And so a ton of respect for guys who deal with adversity and turn into a positive, and obviously Brock has done that.
Dable coming in there now, and you got an entire new operation. What are you looking forward to change the path here of how your career has gone thus far? I think everybody watching the Giants goes like, man, it'd be awesome to see him on a fully ready-to-go team because of how talented you are, how electrifying you are. Out of nowhere, the game can change with you. It's awesome. You and Jonathan Taylor, very similar styles running, two very different programs right now. Whenever you look ahead to the future, versus what you've been through already in your early career, what are your thoughts and what are your projections?
Well, I think you got to learn from what happened in the past. Obviously, we're going into our third head coach, but with Shermer, with Judge, obviously it was unfortunate that they got fired. But
hey, that's not normal, by the way. You're very young.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
This is not a normal thing.
So like you take what you take from that, you learn. They did some great things that we're going to have to be able to carry over, and we got to be able to keep the core. You know, we got some talented players. We have very talented players. We got to find a way to stay healthy. We got a whole new system, whole new coaching staff coming in. So it's new. The energy is going to be different. As players, we get a chance to prove ourselves again.
Yeah.
That's something big. That's something that I'm looking forward to prove myself and show there's different things I can do in my game to help this team win. And it's I know it's been rough, but like the past couple, we're not that far, and I truly believe that we're not that far. We have the talent. Now we bring in the right pieces, the right coaching staff. Obviously, we got to go in the draft well, bring some guys in free agency.
How come you slip through the draft, go undrafted, then you survive on the practice squad, then you show up and it's like, how has this guy not been on a team for so long? How many different moments were you like, I think I can make it in this league, I should make it in this league, and why is nobody plucking me off of this practice squad and signing me for 4 games anywhere? What was it about, you think?
I always told my buddies, my guy Stanley Morgan was on the practice squad the first year with me, and he's been a special teams guy for us, doing great things. But we all, getting out the mud type of thing, just waiting for opportunities. We've both been here for, this is year 4 for both of us there, so we always talk about getting out the mud. We always talk about on practice squad, our game day was Thursday because that was third down day. We got an opportunity to go against the number 1 D and try to show something, try to catch someone's eye there. So it's just a matter of staying patient and just waiting for opportunities.
Whenever you became like a focal point for the offense, were you prepared? Were you ready for it? Mindset day to day going into the building different, or are you still that practice squad guy and will be forever?
I think I'm still that practice squad guy, just grimy. I just got to be grimy day in and day out, and you can't get complacent. You can't let success stop your work ethic there. So I'm just trying to have some fun with it, make some plays whenever they come to me, and I don't know when it's going to come, but like in that play right there, we got a double-double, and I'm going to be single if they're doubling 2 people. So, there's a lot of weapons on this offense, but I'm going to win my one-on-one when I get my opportunities.
Hell yeah, grimy Stanford guy. That sounds like a superpower.
And I just want to plug this one just because I love this kid so much. I enjoy watching Josh Allen play football. That's fun to watch.
How about that Dawson Knox touchdown over the shoulder?
That was a great one. But to me, it's the flat foot in the pocket throwing the ball to Gabe Davis. That to me was the best throw. Look at this throw. It's just kind of bouncing. Let me just put a dime here, just right in the corner of the end zone. He makes some really, for him, probably normal plays that most people just can't do.
There's guys that you have a different respect for, obviously, with their arm. Do you tell them personally, and do they tell you? Do you guys have yep, we know.
You can sling that
Yep,
thing.
yep, we know. Is there that type of group text situation going on with a few of you guys?
That's just understood.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Thursday, January 19th, 2023, Hour 2 starts right now. Football! Has a lot happening in it. Let's dive right in. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Your hat's terrible.
Thank you very much. They just won last night. Still the hottest team in the league.
Shit.
That was Darius J. Butler making a sound of the entire fan base that watches this show because the Boston Bruins are doing well, which is a shame for all of us because the Patriots are dead. Now the Bruins are still going to be good. If we could get them to lose, we could pile on all the massholes about all of their teams sucking. But that's not the case. As soon as the Patriots get eliminated, the Boston Bruins become the hottest team in the history of fucking hockey. So that Connor's able to do whatever Connor wants to do for all time.
Yeah, not to mention the Celtics are also first in the NBA, so we're okay.
Well, it's not in February, so no offense to Hockey Talk and NBA. Who cares?
Yeah, you're right. That's one half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, 10 Diggs. And also our coach, host of Coach Peace Keys, a man who coached football for 40-something years, Chuck Pagano. Joining us live from an attic in Ohio is a man who's college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, and a COVID survivor. I don't know how long he normally takes shits for, if Mrs. McDaniels would think it was too long or awkward or not. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. AJ, news of the day. Jim Irsay unloaded into the McDaniels family toilet, and that was the reason why McDaniels turned the plane around, because his wife said, you remember how awkward it was when that guy was in our house? This is what our life's going to be? No way. Turn this plane back around. Allegedly, the story coming out of the situation, because that was a weird thing that never got explained to anybody about anything. McDaniels was supposed to be the next head coach of the Patriots. That's what everybody assumed. He's now with the Raiders. Allegedly via Dan Dockich, who we all know Dan is always going to be Dan, and I enjoy. Dan makes me laugh. I mean, I laugh at the Dan Dockich a lot. He reported that it was because he was uncomfortably long in the McDaniels bathroom is what made them have a change of heart. What do you think took place, AJ? We assume it's just a massive shit.
I mean, so we talked about on this show how people said somebody at the Peach Bowl blew that bathroom up and they had to clean the walls off. It was so bad. Are we talking a situation like that? I don't think Mr. Irsay would leave a bathroom in that state.
Well, it might not have been his choice. You know, sometimes the bladder does all the talking.
He would have, I mean, but you would think he would at least try to scrape the turds off the walls or something if it was that serious.
I assume he had somebody come in and scrape the legs, of the shit off the toilet and off the seat and the walls. We will assume that is the case. But I believe what was being alluded to was how long it was happening in there and how awkwardly long he was in the bathroom. It's like, what do you want the guy to do when nature calls? Shit happens, literally and figuratively, lady.
2 hours, though. That's a long time.
We don't know that, do we?
No, but I assume.
Who else was there?
2 hours.
And when did they notice? Like, did his wife look over at some point like, hey, where's the owner of the team that is interviewing you right now?
So the thing about that is there was certainly like 3 to 4 people that were definitely there who are always everywhere that Jim is.
Paul McCartney.
And maybe
John
Mellencamp.
Yep.
No. Chuck could text any one of them right now and we could get the real story, I think. Chuck is refusing to do that, okay? And I understand why.
Chuck.
Potentially doesn't want to have to ask this question. But this has to be some sort of misunderstanding. But that's where we are right now. Divisional round 48 hours away. We get Jim Irsay blowing up McDaniel's toilet. Now we got to talk about that. I think the conversation of today, though, is Greg Roman has been fired as the Baltimore Ravens offense coordinator. Had 1 year left on his contract, I believe, for $3.5 million. It was going to be addressed this afternoon by the Ravens ownership on what they were going to do with the future of Lamar and with Coach Roman. There was a press release that basically said that Greg Roman will be pursuing other opportunities. They're moving on without him. They obviously listed off all the incredible accomplishments that they have done together, both Roman, Lamar, and the Ravens. Very successful run. It has come to an end. Your thoughts on this, and what do you think they're going to be looking for in the next offensive coordinator? Because Lamar is the X factor of this whole conversation, is he not?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Lamar is the centerpiece of all of this. And the fact, though, did they officially say they fired him? All I read was that he's seeking other opportunities. Are they trying to say this is almost a mutual thing?
Okay. Sounds good.
There was a
I mean, it doesn't matter either way.
Greg Roman to pursue other opportunities.
It's a CAA press release, too. Is that from his agent?
Athletes first, A1. Whoa.
Easy.
Whoa.
Big Dave Dunn. Sorry about that.
Dave Dunn, I don't know if he does anything anymore, but his Dave Mulugeta is from A1. He's the one that we should be sending into all of our international relation negotiations.
Yes.
He's the one that did Deshaun's deal with Cleveland, amongst many other things. Incredible negotiator. Greg Roman to pursue other opportunities after coaching the Baltimore Ravens offense to a third playoff appearance in 4 years. Ravens offense coordinator Greg Roman is stepping away from the team to pursue other opportunities. Roman's, is that a backwards?
Yeah, it's not right.
That's a backwards apostrophe.
But they use it again on Jackson's.
Roman's offenses, while in Baltimore, set a number of all-time records, including the NFL record for rushing yards in a season, rushing yards by a quarterback in a season, average time of possession, most games in a season with over 200 yards rushing, and most consecutive games with over 100 yards rushing. In addition, the Ravens' offense under Roman was the first in NFL history to have 3 700-yard rushers in consecutive seasons, 2019 through 2020, and is still the only offense ever to average over 200 yards rushing and 200 yards passing in a season, 206 and 201. Respectively. After visiting with Coach Harbaugh and after huddling with my family, I've decided that now is the right time to move on from the Ravens so that I can explore new challenges and opportunities. My family would like to thank Steve Bisciotti for the opportunity to be a part of this elite organization, for being the first-class leader that he is. I would also like to thank John Harbaugh, who I respect as much as any head coach I've worked alongside. I learned a lot working for John and will carry those lessons forward. I also watch our management team, Dick, Sashi, Ozzie, Eric, and many others run a sports franchise as smoothly and as well as one can be run. And I appreciate them allowing. Special thanks to all the players. I coached here. They bought in and let it rip and inspired me every day. And Baltimore fans are quite simply amazing. I'll miss Baltimore. Focus and passion, blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
So,
pursue other opportunities or we're going to fucking shit can you.
I don't know.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the most professional way you can pretty much say that. And you know, I feel like that's classy.
Yeah, they're a classy organization.
Yeah. A guy that's given as much as he's given, as much success as they've had, you look at all those numbers, and to me, the Ravens are the gold standard as far as front office, from ownership down.
Gold standard, Tone.
You heard that.
Ozzie.
You heard it right.
Damn right.
I mean, they do it the right way. So this mutual parting of the ways, it's a really classy move, and one that you're not surprised by. Bisciotti's that way. Ozzie's been that way. All those guys. John's that way. He's given a lot, so they're not just going to whack the guy.
In a football sense, though,
they have. In not them, I guess, exactly, but in football, they certainly would just whack a guy. So I think his press release was very softly delivered, I think, in this particular fashion. But in a football sense, go on.
I think it's the right move for, especially if you're going forward with Lamar. Even if you're not going forward with Lamar, but if you're going forward with Lamar, I think Lamar has been very talented, but been held back in a sense. Kind of in the same thing with Lombardi being let go in L.A. with the Chargers. All the success that Herbert's had the last 2 years with Lombardi as a coordinator is great, but still feel like it's a lot more that can be opened up. And that's definitely the case with Lamar. We've seen he's led the league in passing before, passing touchdowns from the pocket. He can throw the ball. I think an offense around him needs to be built. It's a passing league at the end of the day. Even the 49ers, as much as their run game is important, as much as they run, like, he lets Brock sling the ball a lot, and you need to do that to win a Super Bowl in this league. And I think it's the right move for the organization to build around Ravens, because you watch that offense, man, it is boring. It's a boring offense to watch. A lot of times they don't even have 5 eligible receivers with Patrick Ricard back there. So it's been tough to watch. They got to expand.
Joining us now is a man who knows, with what you just said and the way football is, he's going to have to make plays for his program to win a Lombardi.
Hell yeah.
This guy got drafted in the first round to be a quarterback of a team that hasn't drafted a quarterback in the first round in like 20 years.
Yep.
This man went to school in the same city that the team that he's currently the face of is. This guy is Mr. Yinzer. Ladies and gentlemen, quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny fucking Pickett. Yay! What's up, dude?
Appreciate that, man. What's going on?
I said Kenny fucking – I think Tomlin said Kenny motherfucking Pickett, so I apologize for not having it all. How's your rookie year, man? Have you taken it in at all? Have you gotten a chance to look back? And where are you in the offseason process right now?
Yeah, man, it's a long year, as you guys know, coming off like college and then having a full NFL season. It's like 2 years of nonstop, so it was nice to kind of chill last week. And I got back in now just doing some light training and at the Pitt Boys next door, seeing what's going on over there.
Nice. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, when you were coming out, obviously, for people that don't know, Pitt in college, you share a facility with the Steelers. Did you have any idea that they were going to take you, or did they try to throw smoke screens and act like they weren't?
Yeah, I mean, they had like minimum, probably like the least amount of communication, with me throughout the process. They kind of said they knew what I was like about, and Coach T, I think he like barely watched my pro day when he came over. He was just, I think that was kind of like the smoke screen. So it's kind of funny how that goes, goes on throughout the process.
Do you find that was a definite advantage for you, knowing the building, knowing the lay of the land, even like traffic, where you're going to park, do you feel like that was a massive advantage? And how much did that play a role into your success this season, you think?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think too much, man. Like I know where to get my groceries, but besides that, like it's the NFL, man. Like it's a completely different game. I think it's cool having like some friends and some of my best buddies. They live in the same building as me in my apartment complex. Like that's cool, I think. But in terms of learning the NFL, man, like there's so many things that you have to learn. So, but it was definitely nice having like a familiar field area.
Let's talk about learning the NFL. What was it you think from your first game, which obviously, you gave the ball to the other team. Not your fault, 2/3 of them, not your fault.
0 from PFF.
Yeah, that is. Pro Football Focus said you threw no picks, so don't even count that. I mean, they said it. That means that's gospel, that's Bible. But from that moment all the way through the end of the season where you and Tomlin are having that moment, Kenny motherfucking Pickett, because at the end of games is when you shine brightest. And it seemed like you were understanding defenses and you and Pickens. What did you learn, you think, through your first year that you're going to take with you into the offseason and continue to work on?
Yeah, man, I think just ownership of the offense. I mean, that game that I went in, I didn't even have my helmet in at halftime. Like, I left it out on the bench. I had no clue that I was going in that game. So I had no reps leading up to that point. And then all the reps that I got in practice and throughout the season, those game reps are so valuable. So once I felt like the offense became my own and I had, full understanding of it, I think that's when my growth really took off.
Oh, those gloves, the ball slip out of your hands all the time. It looked like you were really struggling with the size of your hands there when you're throwing the ball. This year.
Yeah, it felt all right. It felt I wasn't too confident heading in, but it kind of stuck to the ball, so it was good.
Do you remember last draft season? We were literally talking about the Carolina Panthers quarterback coach potentially walking over and saying, "Hold that fucking ball, boy. Let me see how that ball looks in your hands, boy." Seems like it's doing just fine. Tone Diggs has a question for you, Kenny. Obviously, your biggest fan.
Hi, Kenny. First and foremost, when are you going to go on footballing with Ben Roethlisberger? And what are your thoughts on potentially bringing Seven into the building? Maybe be like an offensive advisor to the Steelers.
I can answer the first one. There's talks of me getting on the podcast, so I'm waiting on him to give me some dates, and I'll make the trip to.
Here we go. Where's he? Is he in Gibsonia? Never mind. Go ahead. Go on. You can. Yeah. You heard. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'll be getting on the show, and then the second part, you have to talk to the boss man about that one. I don't think I can answer that question.
Hey, a lot of conversation right now about your offense coordinator. Obviously, around Pittsburgh, you have to hear it. You have a brain. You have ears. What do you think about your relationship with Matt Canada through the season, and what are your thoughts on him as a human? Let's not talk football at all, but as a human, why do you appreciate him for the position he's in?
Yeah, I just appreciate the constant communication he had with myself, like throughout the season. Always worried about what I'm comfortable with, what I like. Getting in there, throwing early on, not having many reps, and then kind of just growing with him throughout the season, on understanding how he likes to call plays in certain situations. So all the time that we put in together, that people don't see, that really just goes a long way. So I think all the growth and maturity of the offense that happened throughout was, a huge credit to him and, the bye week kind of bringing us together. And getting us on the right track.
Rookie quarterback, it's you change offense coordinator, get another voice in the ear, another system. I mean, this has happened a lot in the NFL. Obviously, the Steelers are like, let's see what we can continue to grow on. And obviously, you showcased, hey, you're a dog, Kenny. Hey, you're a fucking dog, Kenny. It is awesome to watch. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Kenny, you talk about growing with, Matt Canada and the offense as a whole. How awesome is it coming in the same draft class with a guy like George Pickens and knowing, like, this fucking physical specimen, I'm going to be able to throw to this guy for the rest of my career. Like, how nice is that you guys are kind of both, learning the NFL at the same time?
Yeah, man, I think it's huge. And, coming in, I think coming to that Jets game, the guys I had the most, like, reps with was George and, like, rookie mini camp and early part of camp and Connor Hayward. So some of the guys that I was working with in, like, that 2s and 3s early on was, like, who I was most comfortable with. So, I had that kind of rapport to fall back on, early on and when I started playing more, and I kind of had to play catch up with the starters because I just didn't get, really any reps with them at all. So it's awesome to know that I'll have those guys with me for, hopefully a long time here in Pittsburgh.
That was an absolute strike right there. Oh, yeah. There's like 3 of them that are that exact thing. And obviously that was great play design, and Pickens runs a great route, and you put it right on the money. Pickett to Pickens in Pittsburgh is like such a Yinzer fairy tale that could take place. How much of it, though, as you grow in the season, is Pickens is going to make a play? Did you get to that point where you're comfortable enough to be like, you know what, my guy will make a play here? And is that something you've always had? Have you ever gun shy against NFL defenses? How does that kind of all work out, you think?
Yeah, it's all trust and kind of what you show in practice. Like, I'm a huge, practice guy and giving guys so many opportunities. And, if George didn't make a play on a 50-50 ball was almost like a surprise to me in a game because that's how consistently he makes those plays. So I think we're just going to grow in that area. And, I kind of understand it where he likes the ball in certain situations. So that's kind of with all the receivers. It's just going to continue to get better, and I'm excited to, build on it in the offseason.
Hell yeah.
What's the rest of your offseason look like? Like, do you plan it out what you're going to do? I mean, the good thing for you don't have to go to class anymore, man. So this is your gig.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations, bro.
You feel any pressure to have like some
We don't have to fake
manufactured
care.
workout?
We don't have to fake care about academics. Sorry about that, AJ. Here we go.
I kind of got the schedule laid out. I took a week off, man. I was like going crazy in my apartment, so I got back into the building on Monday just to start light training, kind of take off a throne for a month, and then I'll get down to Florida in February with my quarterback coach and kind of get back into the swing of things and just lay some good groundwork. I want to get the guys down in Florida probably once, for a week, and then back in Jersey for a week too in the summer. So outside of what we're going to be doing in Pittsburgh, so I'm excited for to attack the offseason.
Oh, Camp Pickett going on tour once in Florida, then back in New Jersey. Who's your quarterback coach?
Tony Ratsiopi, same guy I trained with for the draft, and I had him for about 4 years in college.
What are you working on? Because we've heard stories. I'll give you we've heard stories. Josh Allen, from his first year to his second year to third year to fourth year. Obviously, mentally, he got a lot better in the NFL, but he actually changed the way he was throwing. He put lasers on his hip and on his elbow, and they used it like a golf swing, and he tightened it up, and that's what he thought he was missing. You seem to be incredibly accurate. What will you work on, or will you change anything?
To me, it's tying in what we're doing offensively now, to my footwork, and footwork is a huge thing for me. I think if I can get my feet right, then usually the ball goes where I need it to go. I think, I continue to work on off-platform throws as well, getting outside the pocket. It's something I feel like I did a lot better towards the back end of the year, extending plays and giving guys chances down the field. So I think more footwork-wise, tying into, what we're doing offensively, now that I have a really good understanding of what we're doing, I'll just take that next step, going into year two.
Yeah, you're sneaky athletic, aren't you? Lunch pail guy.
Always sneaky, yeah.
First
no one trusts the speed, man.
You changed a rule, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you? I mean,
Yeah.
you're the
Hell
reason.
yeah.
His rule.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that was awesome. How long had you been preparing to fake slide on somebody, or did that come in the moment?
In the moment, man. In the moment. No one believes me when I say it, but you're in a championship game. You're not thinking about breaking out a fake slide. It just kind of happened. I saw him pulling up and just, kind of put the brakes on and just kept going.
Did you hear all the old NFL guys be like, "He does, God, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? We're going to kill a guy like that or whatever," right? But have you were you able to run a little bit this year? More surprising to be able to gain a little bit of yards or no?
I'd say yes and no. I think extending plays, I could do it at the college level, pretty much jogging, 50%. Linemen just aren't as fast at the college level. And the NFL, man, they're just as fast, if not faster than I am. So the urgency, the sense of urgency, I'd say, when I was escaping was definitely heightened, once I got up here.
Hush it. What a moment. I think that's, if what I've heard is correct, that's like an entire rookie season, a lot of shits. You didn't look like that out there, so you should be proud of how poised you were. Darius has a question for you, Kenny.
First of all, smart play, inviting the guys down to Florida. It's not hard to get guys down to Florida in the offseason, Kenny. But you had obviously everybody has that long rookie year. First of all, what was the biggest adjustment? We talked to quarterbacks earlier on the show. Matt Ryan, I believe, was one of them. He talked about the speed of the pass rush and how different that was from the college level. Was it that more so, or the coverage, the tight windows in the back end? What was the biggest adjustment coming from college to the pros?
Yeah, man, that's a good question. I think the volume of defense that you were seeing week in and week out, I'd say that was number one for me. I study a lot of tape, and going through breakdowns was a lot different than going through college breakdowns. You would see a lot of different looks throughout the game, where in college you kind of get comfortable seeing different looks because you knew you weren't going to see too many of them, just from what guys can handle. But I'd say the volume of defenses week in and week out was definitely number one for me.
Anybody shit talk you heavy this year? Any I see ghost situations and the other team being like, "Yeah, you do." Boo. Any of that? Was there any of that?
There's always stuff in between plays, but I think, that's the fun part of the game, that game in between the game. I always have fun doing, kind of talking in between. So it was good.
Yeah, you're a Jersey Yinzer. I assume you chirp a little bit. Tone has another question for you.
Yeah, Kenny, Yinzers would be pissed if I didn't ask. Have you started campaigning yet for your guy, Jordan Addison, to be a draft pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I would love it, man. I just talked to his mother actually yesterday. He's down in Florida training, and I'm excited to get down there and train with him a little bit too. He's a talented guy, man. He's one of the best that I've been around. just an all-around receiver, just a route runner. You know, his speed will surprise people. I don't think people were giving him enough credit for the speed. So, you know, I'm excited to see where he ends up, hopefully in the black and gold.
What you guys broke every record together, something like that.
Just about.
What do you think about Pitt? We coming back? You're in there working out with the boys. Aaron Donald throwing knives at people. You guys going to get the boys back into the ACC championship or what?
I think we open up with West Virginia in West Virginia.
Oh, okay. We're going.
You ducked me You ducked me last year. I was trying to get you there. Maybe a little friendly wager.
Yeah, but you got to remember when you brought it up on the show, I had no idea what was happening. you said it. You know.
I did catch that. I was like, he has no clue what I'm saying. But
it was bad. It was a bad moment for me. I should have certainly known that was happening. Are we going to that game? When is that? Is that the same setup as last year?
I hope it's a Thursday night because it'd be easy to drive down from Pittsburgh. So.
Maybe
you
we
got
get
the
a
connections
chopper.
though in there, man.
Maybe
you
we
got
get
the connections. You got to help me out.
I do not have the connections. That's actually the thing. That is why I didn't even know. I do not have the connections, but I assume enough money can get us into a place.
Oh yeah,
should certainly watch that. We'll put a little money on the line too, and then
sure.
M&M's on the line. You're not allowed to get.
Yeah, you can't do it.
You're not allowed to get. It'll be M&M's and things like that. What's the locker room like there? You guys got a great vibe in that locker room. Mike Tomlin seems to be like the perfect head coach for an NFL team.
Yeah, we got a lot of great vets too, man. So I was just kind of following the lead of the vets, and you know, Cam Hayward's my locker mate. As you can see, he's got two of these bad boys right next to me.
Well, his head can't fit. I mean, his head. There's only exactly.
Yeah, man, he's the man, and you know, we got TJ and some other guys that kind of take you under your wing early on. So we got a great locker room.
Kenny, you talked a little bit about digesting defenses and trying to figure out the looks they're giving you. What about learning that NFL offense, like that whole playbook? How big of an adjustment was that coming from college?
Big playbook, lots of plays.
Yeah,
tons.
That's what they say. So many plays.
Too many.
That is what they say, man. But I was lucky with Coach Whipple next door, man. He had a lot of experience in the NFL with the West Coast system. So all the stuff that I learned with him in a pass game sense kind of really translated over here. The run game was a little bit different, but with some checks, you know, run to run, pass to pass, whatever it may be. But, you know, I felt like I picked it up pretty well, you know, early on.
How nice was it to have the speaker in your ear so you didn't have to run to the sideline every single play like you had to do with Whipple?
Yeah, that was nice. I wish I had that in college. My GPS, I was breaking records every Saturday, man, with how much I was traveling on that field back and forth. But
he ran between every single play over to the coach and then back, and then every once in a while get like a relay if he needed to tap out for a second.
High school.
See, he just learned this. I learned this whenever we called a Thursday night. We called a Thursday night game. Pitt, I don't know who you guys were playing. You guys had a
UNC.
UNC. Great game, and the place was filled up. Steelers were playing. Pitt fans showed up as well. Did a shotgun to beer celebration. It was fucking epic and electrifying. But it was at that moment I learned. Like during the game, I think I was like, "Is this guy running?"
What the?
Oh my God, that is the worst thing of all time. And you stuck with it. I mean, you had to stay in shape for that type of thing. What has your workout been during the NFL season? Because we've talked about it a couple times about how long your year is. Your rookie year is longer than any year you'll ever have because you go through your entire season, then off-season workouts, then obviously combine, pro day, draft, rookie OTAs, training camp, then the longest fucking season you've ever been a part of in your life. So it is. Did you have to do anything, change anything body-wise to make it towards the end of the year? And what do you plan on doing this upcoming season with one under your belt?
Yeah, I think the combine training, man, I got a little too lean, I'd say. I was a little under 220. I want to get a little bit bigger for this season. So, like, you're training for the 40, the 5, 10, 5. You're just not training to be a football player. You're kind of doing the drills. And, you know, I wanted to perform well in those. So then I was playing catch-up after that, trying to gain some weight. But I think I want to gain a little bit more weight and have a little bit more muscle mass on me heading into this season after experiencing a lot of these hits. And, you know, the game just played a little bit faster here.
What you got, peanut butter and banana sandwiches, bro? Just house and nose?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a good technique. I did that in high school. I may have to bring that one back.
That a baby. Just become big fat. Could you imagine? Kenny Pickett just shows up 275 quarterback.
Well.
If you played well, Pittsburgh would.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, buying completely. Chuck has a question for you, Kenny.
Hey Kenny, how you doing?
Good, Coach. How are you?
I'm great. Big fan of yours. Had my ass kicked a bunch by the Steelers and Coach Tomlin, but that quarterback, you know, head coach relationship, you hear about it all the time, right? And like when I came into the Colts job and we had Andrew Luck, I was fascinated about, you know, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, that relationship, your interaction with Mike Tomlin during the week. I would always try to, watch some situational stuff, some third down stuff, some red area stuff, and then I'd sneak into the quarterback meeting room. And the quarterback coach didn't like because he wanted all the time, and he thought I took up all the time in the team meetings. But I would go in there and try to share some things that I saw from a defensive perspective on what they're playing in the red area, what they're doing on 3rd and 2 to 6, whatever. What's that interaction like? What's your your weekly communication interaction with Coach Tomlin? Do you have those talks with him?
Yeah, we do, and I'm kind of lucky. Coach allowed me to come into the staff meetings to start the week, so I'd get the breakdown, like the full 2.5-hour breakdown of the team on Monday morning.
When that started? As soon as you started?
No, that started about probably 2 or 3 weeks after I started, because he helped me with my routine early on, and he saw that I like to watch a lot of film and be prepared, and then he ended up letting me come into the staff that meeting. So I would get it before everybody. On Monday, I would get it again with the QBs, and then again in the team meeting. So I would get the breakdown like 3 times before everybody got it once, which really kind of helped me. And then throughout the week, just like you said, constant communication about the third downs, red zone, 2-minute, those crucial moments that kind of make and break games. I've had a lot of communication with Coach T, throughout the year, and I think that really did help me on what I could expect to walk into the line of scrimmage on those big time plays.
Mike Tomlin, the last time he had a chance to really, I don't want to say mold a quarterback or an NFL quarterback, he was much younger in his career with Ben. Now he's accomplished Hall of Fame quarterback or Hall of Fame coach already, and he's getting an opportunity to do it again. And us watching him interact with you has been really cool. Like I referenced it in the intro, him calling you Kenny motherfucking Pickett after you make a big drive. That is obviously a tight bond there between you two. Did you feel that as soon as you got there? Did you have to earn that? How quickly did that all start cooking between you two?
Yeah, you definitely have to earn it with Coach T, man. You got to show up and be consistent every day with your work and how you go about your business. But once we started having success on the field, man, you just kind of build that tight bond, and we spent a lot of time together preparing. When you just do that, you just become tighter and tighter in this game. Like football is a special game. You create a lot of great bonds. So I think Coach T, we're definitely building something special, and I want to continue to do that.
He's one of the greatest shit talkers of all time, I've heard. Is that real?
He's pretty good, man. You don't want to end up in that team meeting when you see yourself up on tape and he starts circling you with the laser. You're like, oh shit, you know something's coming, man. But he's awesome.
Go ahead, AJ.
What's Tomlin like on game day? We watch him. We get to see from the TV copy, and we see some mic'd up segments. The dude seems to not only like just the positivity that comes out of his mouth towards you guys. He seems to pump you guys up and just in the right way. Like, does it surprise you at all how he is on game day?
No, it doesn't surprise me one bit, man. His positivity and the kind of juice and energy he brings, he's the same guy every single day. It's so funny. We always hear him like down the tunnel coming into the locker room. We all he has his sayings. We'll kind of like wager which one he's going to say every game day when he walks into the locker room. So he's awesome, man. He's a guy that you want to play for. You want to go out there and win. So I couldn't ask for a better head coach, honestly.
Did you play the Bills this year?
We did. My first start.
And you played the Bengals, right?
We did. Yep.
What are your thoughts? Because obviously they're playing this weekend in a massive game. What are your thoughts on their defenses? And your first start, obviously, you have no idea what the hell is going on. But what are your thoughts on both those teams?
Yeah, I think both teams, man, just defensively, they have so much talent at all 3 levels, and they're going against 2 great quarterbacks. So I'm excited to watch and see how it plays out. I think you can always learn stuff when you watch these kind of big-time games, and so I'll be tuned in for sure and, want to see how it goes.
Do you talk to any of the other quarterbacks around the league? Anybody reach out, chit-chat to help you out this season?
During the season, no. In the offseason, I'm sure I'll talk to some guys, and, I definitely want to kind of learn some routines on what, some veteran guys do around the league. I'm kind of, just new to it, and want to feel out what's kind of best for myself and what I like. So I'll definitely be in contact with some guys.
Connor has a question for you. Last one before we go, Kenny. Appreciate you.
Kenny, with the other quarterbacks in the QB room, how was that relationship, obviously, with Mitch and Mason? And did they know kind of like, hey, I'm Kenny fucking Pickett, I'm the guy? And then obviously you work with one Hall of Famer in Tomlin. What's it like to also answer questions from the Hall of Famer Mark Kaboly from a week-to-week basis?
Yeah. Which one do you want to answer first there? Where should I start with?
Kaboly, I think.
Kaboly? Yeah, Kaboly's the man, dude. He's got some great questions for us every week, and the guy doesn't miss a day, I'm going to be honest. We leave the media open to our locker room a lot, and he's in here every second he's got, man. So he's working hard.
Duh. You guys give him the runaround. He has sandwiches in his pockets, and you guys fucking won't give him the answer.
Linebacker.
That's what Papoli does. He is professional. But how about the other quarterbacks in the room? You guys get along? Obviously, it's a weird year.
Yeah, man, we got along really well, and I think the bond just got stronger, as the year went. I couldn't ask two guys that really just helped me week in, week out. Every time I came off the field, like Mitch would have something, Mason would have something. We would all communicate on how we should attack the next series. So those two guys are, really, grateful for, how they treated me and brought me into this team.
You still wearing gloves next year, dude?
I'll be wearing gloves next year, man.
It's not going to work in the NFL, dude.
Yeah.
It's not going to work in the NFL, dude. Incredible rookie year. You were fantastic, honestly, and I think all of Yinzers that I know are so excited for the future with you, man. You do it the right way. Continue to kick ass, and congrats on the success.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Congrats on the Bud Light deal, man. If you guys want to send some product over here, I won't shy away from it, but appreciate it.
We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Kenny Pickett.
Kenny!
Atta baby Kenny.
Yo, Kenny.
Can drink a beer with the guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Drink a beer with the guy.
A lot of mocks.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
How's that guy not going to be successful? He's back in the facility already?
Yeah, he said a week in his apartment. Took a week off in his apartment.
Man.
Go to a
Crazy.
beach, Kenny. You fucking go to a beach, Kenny. He was in his apartment in Pittsburgh. I can't fucking do this anymore.
Need to
Give me
throw
the-
football.
I love that. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for. Great question out of you, Bub.
Yeah.
That Tomlin answer about him being in staff meetings, that's not normal, right? I don't think that's a normal thing at all.
Especially for a rookie coming in. I mean, he knew something we didn't know, but a lot of coaches won't do that. But I love that they're collaborative and you let those guys in. Like when I was coordinator in Baltimore, and I had Ed and Ray and Suggs and Haloti and JJ and all those guys.
Right.
I'd give them the game plan. We did this, I think, with you guys some. Give them the game plan and hey, look this over. Bring it to Saturday night meeting, the last meeting, and I want your input. What do we have in there that's going to totally screw us up? And what do we not need? And they would, so it's basically the same thing because those guys, a guy like that is smart and he knows the game and they know that. So you want to, hey, look, is there something on here that you can't execute? We can't execute. It's just going to blow up in our face.
And what is Tomlin? Tomlin's like a film junkie. They say he just lives in he has like a room where it's just film. I don't know if they call it the dungeon or the cave.
Yeah, lights are always off.
I forget what it is. He's just like a film junkie like that. But I think everybody's successful in the NFL. At every position but punter and kicker and long snapper.
Yeah.
Are film junkies.
Yeah, buried.
Like that is.
No, not necessarily.
You don't think so?
No. Some guys can.
Whoa. Somebody's trying to silence you. Somebody's trying to silence
Be
you.
good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So some guys, can overdo it with the film. Sometimes you can.
Paralysis by analysis?
Exactly, perfect. But and then some guys, you just watch a couple things and you just let your instincts take over and play. And then quarterbacks, obviously, I feel like those you got to be film junkies. Some DBs, but some guys, I've definitely known some guys that just give me the play, give me my formation. Let me just play ball, and they play better that way for sure.
All right, let me take that back then. Not everybody that I know that is successful is a film junkie, but everybody that I've seen, that is prominent in football has loved the game. And normally a good display of if you love the game is how much time you invest. That's how everybody, the desk watching situations that happen in the coaching world, because they love football and preparing more than you do. But like the people that really love dissecting film, I like that Tomlin recognized that Kenny was like, hey, this guy also seems to be a psychopath when it comes to film watching. And that's like a good way to earn his trust. And if Kenny wasn't, and you go into the building and you hear that about Tomlin, a nice move probably to win over your team and your coach is like, oh, I'm going to become a film person now. This is what it's going to be. Seems like you guys got the right guy. It honestly does.
I'm very, very happy. Like we've talked about it during the season, and the stats weren't incredible, but you see some throws where he stands in there and he makes the throw. He'll take a hit. He makes the right read. The camaraderie that he has with Pickens and Freiermuth, who I think will probably be his best weapons moving forward. Like those are, like you could already tell those are his guys. So I am very excited for the future with
In
Kenny.
Matt Canada, okay, had a rookie quarterback. Was scared to put too much on his plate probably.
Big playbook.
Now
You can throw the kitchen sink at it.
Now we're going to get more in jet sweeps.
Off season, full off season, OTAs.
He's the guy.
Training camp.
Here's the guy.
When the OC changes too, Tony, sometimes it's not always for the better.
What are you saying?
Saying sometimes you just want a little, consistency.
We're not going to have Flores calling the plays.
That's a good point.
Danny Smith might, though.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
If Danny Smith, special teams coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the last 15 years, was put into a competition against Matt Canada for who's going to call plays, which is what Bill did with Joe Judge
Bingo.
and Matt Patricia.
Correct.
Off a failed head coaching job.
I would like to let everybody know that we would be pulling very hard for Danny Smith to become a play caller in the NFL. I think he'd be running trick plays every fucking other play, and then it would be power football, and he'd chew more gum. You know Danny?
Oh, yeah.
Love
He's been
Danny?
there more than 50. Oh, I love him.
From Pittsburgh.
Tons of juice, tons of energy.
We're
Man.
talking Yinzer fuck.
Yes.
This guy is a Yinzer fuck who has become a Pittsburgh Steelers staple. And I honestly don't think there's a better representation
There's not.
of the city of Pittsburgh than this guy right here.
There is not.
He's going to hear this. Somebody's going to show it to him. He's going to go, "Pat, I got a fucking message." He's going to do a full. He's going to be a full diatribe. It's real. You'll see this guy chewing 45 pieces of gum at one time on any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, or Saturday when NFL games are being played. I love this man.
How long he's been there?
Long time. I don't know. I think he was with the Washington. He was with Washington before Pittsburgh, I think. But because I'm from Pittsburgh, every Pittsburgh coach around the NFL normally comes over and says hello before the game starts. Normally like, "Plum guy, hey, I'm from blah, blah, blah."
2013, he's been with the Steelers. He's with the Redskins as a special teams. That's who they were. That's who they were. I'm not going to.
Chuck.
Good on you.
This guy.
He's been a special teams coach since 2001.
Okay, yeah, so he's with that's when I met him. Was he at the Washington Commanders?
That's not who he was with.
The Washington football team.
Well, that's not who he was with.
Not who Derek
You
Green
guys get
played
in
for.
trouble if you say.
I don't. It's
I know, try.
Yeah, the FCC comes down.
You can give it a go. Your boss is going to crack down on you, but we can't make that a habit. But that was the name of the team that he did coach for at the time.
Right here. Wikipedia's got it right
It's
here.
also the name of the team that everybody's wearing T-shirts for in away games, who are the team Washington Commander fans.
That is
Yeah.
right.
We learned that whenever the Commanders played in Indianapolis, we saw a lot of their fans, and a lot of their fans were not told that the team name was Commanders.
No.
Every piece of merch that was being worn in the away stadium, in the Colts stadium, was OG,
Yeah.
a Ridge.
They should have stayed with the football team.
Yeah. I
Amen.
liked it.
Yeah.
Too.
DCFC would have been.
Wild Hogs would have been sweet, too.
That would have been cool.
Tim Allen as the mascot.
Thank you.
On a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Him, Martha right next to him.
Have we figured out, is Damar Hamlin coming out on a four-wheeler?
I think it has been confirmed.
I believe they put up press release.
Confirmation.
That's crazy he's back, dude. Isn't it?
I mean, yeah, he's doing as well. It's awesome. What a good story.
We're talking to Von Miller here at 2:15 Eastern Standard Time, which is 27 minutes from right now. Can't wait to chat with him. Did not chat with him last week. I believe he was traveling. He's back in the building. Gabe Davis said that he put up a replica Lombardi and said, "Hey, this is what you're looking for. Go get it." Von Miller coaching. We heard that from
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knoxy, old Knoxy. If he gets a 50-yard touchdown or longer, we'll donate $50,000 to his foundation. Gabe Davis, 85 yards or longer, $85,000 to his foundation, and $85,000 to him.
Pocketbook.
Jesse Bates III,
Bingo.
$50,000 for an interception this weekend. That is not just forever.
No.
That is not a forever. There is a expiration date on that, Mr. Bates III.
Speaking of, I have a request. Do with it what you will, but may I suggest please offering Kenny Pickett the same deal for the upcoming season of maybe like an 85-yard touchdown as well, so that we can force some more balls down the field.
Oh, a little bit more aggressive offense being made by the Stooges in Indianapolis for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A little bit of, hey, do you hate the kids? Why don't
Offer
you?
Matt Canada.
Give them what they
Send that offer to Matt Canada. Then you'll get some shots down the field.
I'm assuming, and I might be wrong, but I'm a big, Canada's a human guy, you know? These people, as Ian Rappaport refers to humans in the NFL, he's heard everything that everybody has said.
I would assume
Probably.
There's no way they roll the ball in the field and run the same bullshit next year. He is probably being protected, his job, because Tomlin was probably a part of the conversation. Let's not make this too complicated. Let's understand what this is. Let's do what we can do, the best we can do it without getting too much on. We thought something just came through the roof over here. Crows are back. We had to fix a window up there because the crows blew it out.
Yeah, poked a hole.
Whenever it got -12, the crows came flying up, and they were doing missions, one crow after another, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. They
Got the
busted
job.
out the window, had to
Gritty.
get it fixed, had somebody climb up there. But I wonder if that's what the reason was why he didn't get fired, because it was like an overall decision. And then this year they're able to add on to it. Maybe that's the case.
That is a positive way that I would like to think about it as well. Thank you.
Well, how
Oh,
hard
that
is
was a positive way that you had not thought about it at all, is what it sounded like you just said?
No, there wasn't a ton of positive thinking about the situation.
No, I think we were just thinking he has 1 year left on his contract, and they don't fire
That's-
coordinators; they just let the
that was
contracts
what I
run
was
out.
thinking, yeah.
Got it.
It's third year?
Yeah.
3 different quarterbacks.
Why are Steelers fans so negative?
It's a great question, Foxy. We'll let the diehard Steelers fans
Well,
answer.
not everything's gumdrops and rainbows. You win a couple games, you guys start throwing parades. You know, you've been through this.
Okay, this
for
isn't about
20,
the
30
Lions. That was a
years.
real question about the Steelers. It's not about the
Because
Lions.
it's Super Bowl or negative, Foxy. It's
High
Super Bowl or
standards.
negative.
Okay,
Yeah, bingo.
That's all I needed.
Do they play next year?
Who?
They got that NFC North.
Steelers,
I believe they do, actually.
Yeah, the Packers and Steelers play.
How'd you know that? Do you just have everybody scheduled, just ready to rock right now? What type of operation we got going in at
Competition
Italian Head? Look at the new flag on the iPad. A little bit more prominent.
Yeah.
I think it was the right play.
Thank you, Tone.
No, they play the West.
Tito.
The Packers just happens to be another NFC game.
So Packers is a story that is obviously garnering mention on every show because Aaron Rodgers said he could play at an MVP level.
They're sick of talking about him, though.
Yeah.
You know, but they'll fucking dedicate
point.
an hour and a half
Good point, Ty.
every program to talking about how big of an asshole he is and how
Hey, did you see
sick
Jay?
of talking
Did you
about
see
it.
Jay Will? Jay Will went to bat. Jay Will went to bat.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
No, I did not see that one.
He's the first one on TV that has said, like, hey, do you know? He also said, literally, right before, he was talking about the level in which he thought he could still play at his old ass fucking age, which is kind of being missed in this whole thing. That's what he was answering the MVP thing. And then the other thing he said was, if you can't win it all, why are you fucking playing at all?
Mm-hmm.
So Jay Will brought that up. I think Dan Orlovsky did as well. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you, Dan.
Adonde did as well on Around the Horn.
J.A.?
Yeah,
Donde.
Donde.
J.A., all right.
What Clinton
I saw
had to
Yates.
say.
Yeah, Yates took a little shot at my tank top.
Did he get a lot of points? Did Jay get a lot of points for that?
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding,
Yeah,
ding,
he
ding,
did.
It was
ding, ding.
him.
Oh,
Mel
really? That's
Duncan
surprising.
In the
Tone's favorite
FaceTime.
show.
I don't know how you don't.
Surprised Reality gave him points.
I
for
will
it.
say Orlovsky won the argument immediately upon saying, like,
He did.
He did say that. And then everybody else was just like,
What?
oh, he did? Okay. And Jay Will, I believe he did as well. You
Yeah.
kind of win that whole thing. That's Aaron, though, huh? That's just how his life is, you think? That's just how it is?
That's how it is right now, no question. But also, a quick pivot. Did Moz get shot today on camera?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, he was bleeding right here. Had
That's a
to,
shame.
I
Well,
saw
they-
he had like an ice. He was holding an ice pack up before he did the trivia segment.
He kind of stuck up for Aaron, too. Yeah. Maz was kind of on Aaron's side.
He did.
Yeah.
Helmet busted
He's
all over his
concussed,
face.
though, yeah, from the mini helmet hitting his
Oh,
jaw.
Yeah, he must
so.
be, yeah.
He's a little woozy. He was, wasn't he?
Wobbly.
Cheeto's name is so cool.
Yeah. Very.
I would like him to be on the Colts just so we can say Cheeto Woozy out here making plays. I mean, that's an incredible name.
Should have a Cheeto deal.
They got some dogs on the backside there.
Oh, yeah.
Got to pay him. This is money. I don't know how Cincinnati has all the fucking. How are they going to have? Let's say they were the Broncos and the Broncos had all the money. How will they be able to decide who's getting money over there? They're going to have to turn it over, just like New England had to do with Tom.
Yep.
Just like Seattle had to do with Russ. Now, granted, they never were able to win again after they turned it over. Patriots were able to do it. It's like your quarterback's going to survive different eras of your team. It's like, will they be able to do it? That's a fascinating. That's really what the future.
Cap-
No
Caps
offense to the
will go up.
Bengals, you're in the middle of a great time right now, going on a win. But the immediate thought is this team's young, very good, very accomplished, and contracts are coming up. It's hard not to think about that immediately.
And you'll figure out, we'll know right away who they really covet and who they don't, because you're not going to keep them all. It's just the nature of the beast. There's going to be some guys that walk, and they're going to hate to see them go, but then it's on the coaches. Ownership, GM personnel, they're always like, okay, hey, look, we know you hate to lose this dude, but we've got this guy, and this guy, these young guys, we got to develop them.
Trent Irwin
They gotta-
came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I feel like they're kind of in, at least offensively at the skill positions. They're in that range where, like, it used to be with Rodgers, too, and even with Mahomes losing Tyreek Hill. It's like, hey, the quarterback is good enough where, like, you know, you put Trent Irwin in, like, Burrow's going to make him a fucking superstar. So, like, yeah, we have a bunch of elite guys on the edges, but, like, we'll be okay potentially losing one of them because we can't afford him because the next guy we get either in the late rounds of the draft, like Burrow's going to make him, maybe play above what his normal means are.
AFC North is certainly fascinating, isn't it? Kenny Pickett's
yeah.
the only true thing right now, huh? That's the only sure thing?
And Deshaun Watson.
Joe Burrow, not sure thing, because he's not under contract for the
That's
next 10 years.
I think Joe will be there.
I think Joe is never leaving Cincinnati.
Yeah, no chance.
What a perfect player for the Bengals Joe Burrow is.
Yeah, what a perfect situation. That the fact that and now he has him back to make another run. Like, good story for Cincinnati.
I think they're always going to make a run. He has that Tom Brady thing where it's like, hey, our
Feels
teams
like
win. We win. That is what we. I don't know what everybody else does.
They started 0-2, right?
Yep. That was whenever they're giving up 9 sacks.
Yeah, they lost to
People said they were garbage.
First game of the year, they lost to a gold standard
Super
organization.
Bowl hangover.
I don't know what we said about them, but we certainly talked about how they were giving up more sacks and Joe Burrow's not going to survive, and this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, week 6 or week 7,
boom,
that
they
offensive
played the
line.
Jets. Remember, I went to the Jets game when Mangold went into the Ring of Honor, and the Bengals looked great that day, and people didn't expect them to win that game.
Yeah, because Mangold was going in there too.
We got a little,
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
got a
part
little PTSD too from seeing Luck. We kind of
Yes.
saw that before. The guy, get banged around. Obviously, supremely talented, but I love Burrow's mindset, man. A great guy to build around. Even when they went and won these, made the playoff appearance, and he was kind of like, "Hey, y'all get used to this shit." You know what I mean? This is the new kind of standard around here. I like that.
He hated the "why not us" mentality.
Yeah, last year.
He said something along the lines of like, "I don't like the connotation of why not us." Okay. It is us.
Yeah.
Right. What do we even talk? Why not us? What do we? That is not. I enjoy that. I love that, and I think that is something that every franchise is looking to have. And probably how many? 7 of them? 8 of them?
Right now?
Yeah. But look at this. Put this divisional round up. Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
For
Right.
sure.
Yep.
Now, granted, unless he just falls off a cliff, as long as Doug Peterson ain't going anywhere, I think he's going to be okay. Patrick Mahomes, locked. Joey Burrow, locked. Josh Allen, locked.
Yep.
Danny Dimes, I think. Bruce Bronovich, he's at least for the next 4 or 5 years, right? You guys are going to have to pay him. Bronovich, is he?
Sure.
We have
he's not back here.
Definitely, though.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, guy.
Yep.
Dak already signed, sealed, delivered. I guess the Niners, are you going with
Question
Purdy?
mark? Little question mark.
Christ is walking with him. You're goddamn right they are.
Yeah, we'll see.
You
think
put
we can
GD
say
after
that.
that?
Yeah, I don't think
Do
you
not
can
love
say
what you did. You went to a Catholic school, too.
I did.
Hey, I did not go to a Catholic school. Have no real, that whole Ty did, and he just dropped it. So I expect the same venom towards him that I get.
Bring it on. I had to go to church every Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
And Sunday?
Weekends every once in a while. Yeah, you'd go, but every Wednesday during the school year.
So you were like Kenny Pickett going to the Wednesday service, which was basically the game planning for Sunday service.
Right.
You were in there before everybody else heard the message.
Exactly. Getting the homily before everyone else has got it.
Smart.
I didn't know Jesus showed up on Wednesdays.
Jesus every day. What is your problem?
I thought it was just Sundays.
There's mass every day of the week, Tony. Don't be
I
a
am
fool.
so sick of this, okay? This can't be what this becomes all the time whenever we start talking about this.
Think about where we
Virginia
are.
McCaskey at 100 years old goes every single morning.
bless.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Every morning.
I mean, heaven,
The
yeah.
new facility they built, they put
Little chapel in there.
chapel in
Yeah.
there.
Like
Is that why they
like a
stink, or-
hospital?
So my great aunt, I guess, my dad's aunt, my dad's mother passed away when my dad was in high school. So my dad's aunt became pseudo my grandma, Jeannie. Just a legend of a human. Rest in peace, Jeannie. She is absolute legend of a human. She was married, okay? She was married to a man who lived in a basement. They put a little church. He just prayed every single day, all day, every day, basically. I think he thought he was dying, so he was trying to get as good as he possibly could with the Lord, and that was just what he did all day while she lived upstairs. So anytime anyone saw it, it was like, you want to go downstairs? I think he's in the middle of a service right now or whatever. It's like, all right, I'm going to get out of here. So, like, I think as you get older, that type of thing happens.
Did anyone ever check on him to see if he was really praying?
Yeah, I think we've seen him a couple. He had calluses.
AJ.
Guy had calluses because of how much he was praying.
On his
Is he a
knees.
monk? He might have been a monk.
I think
That's
he
what
was
monks
living
do.
like that. I think he was living like
That's
that.
pretty cool. Good for him.
You think he's lying?
That's what
This
it
guy
sounds
thinks
like.
No, I do not. I do not.
That's what it
I'm just saying-
sounds
That's what
like.
you're insinuating.
Maybe Irsay was praying.
You got to come
Son
up
of a
someday,
bitch.
right? You got to come upstairs at some point, right?
He missed a couple holidays. I mean, there was a couple times he was big
Locked
day
in.
today, locked in, got the Colossus 420 or whatever.
What a weapon.
When you eat.
I don't. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen him eat. He passed away, obviously, but he.
Did you ever go down there and see his?
I saw the operation.
Area?
I saw the setup. Yeah, because there was a pool table down there we could never really use because.
Bibles on it. And communion.
Yeah, I got cleared off for one holiday. It was a big day. We went down there. My mom showcased that she's a fucking pool shark. I had no idea that was the case.
Nice.
And then we all had to get back out of there. Prayers have to take place again.
Praise be.
But I think as you get older, I think you go to church more often because you start thinking about the afterlife a lot more. So that might be why every single day. And then maybe hopefully that'll happen to you, Tone. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
you need
One day.
I'm always looking.
All right, let's get to a break. There's humans in our studio. It was auctioned off at a Chuck Strong gala.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was? Was it a gala or what was the auction?
Chuck Strong Gala, tailgate gala.
They're hanging out in the back over there. Hey, how you doing? I don't know if we can see you. How you doing? Just sit all by themselves. They're out of camera. Yikes.
Bummer.
2 people that bought it at the Chuck Strong auction.
Find them.
Come on.
Boom. There we go. Boom. Yes. Oh, it's comfortable.
That's probably my seat they're sitting in.
I was going to say.
I will say it is comfortable. I think that seat is comfortable. Kind of an awkward spot to put them.
Have them get closer. Man. They're so far.
What are we supposed to do? We can put them on a fucking chair right here, AJ?
Yeah,
I don't
no matter what, it's a huge room that they're sitting in. So wherever they sit, it's weird.
Believe me, there was a full like 15, 20 minutes
out there.
What are we
They feel like they're still at the Colts complex.
Yeah, big complex.
I thought this was in person.
So a lot of Colts people are here, though.
Yeah, nice.
It's great to see a lot of the people that came.
Jim's actually taking a giant dump in the bathroom right now.
We will have an update on how long Jim Irsay's shit is at the Thunderdome. Or praying.
Could be praying.
He could have been praying.
Yeah, he could
Or
have been
jerking.
praying.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Wiping his dump everywhere.
Or both. Or all 3.
Nature's Tylenol.
Mm-hmm.
Von Miller joins us in about 14 minutes. Can't wait for that conversation about what he has seen from this Bills team behind the scenes. And also Damar Hamlin being back in the building. What has that been like? Can't wait to break down all the other news we got. Jason Myers, kicker for Seahawks, just signed a $22.6 million deal.
Woo!
Nice. Damn. Hell yeah. Got to talk about that. Got to talk about Jimmy G being in a boot. Jeez. Jimmy G being in a boot. Stephon Diggs was introduced to a new sport that we were all introduced to last night.
Sweet.
Talk about that. It's kind of tough to watch.
It is.
Yeah, some guy yesterday.
I'll watch with his voiceover, though. With Diggs' voiceover, I will watch.
Yeah, Diggs experiencing it was certainly worth a watch. I think clips of that sport, much easier to digest.
Absolutely.
Like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, okay, you move. A full show of people just standing there going, knock me out, bitch.
Your time.
I don't think you can. And then getting knocked out.
Yeah.
And then standing back up.
Mm-hmm. Wobbling around.
All right, my face is
That's what I can't
That's
do.
the worst part.
Guys growing other heads on their head because they're so swollen from getting smacked.
But I'm standing. My turn now. My turn now. And then bang, right back. And then falls down. And then, you think I was done? Yeah. And then they're back up there. That's an interesting thing to watch. And we're kind of all seeing it for the first time.
We go in sport. It's officially a sport.
Oh yeah,
feels like a game to me. This feels like a game to me. You sport?
We can't insult sports like that.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
good on that.
I agree.
Maybe a
Matt,
contest.
you've always said it's not being judged. There's a winner.
These
So
guys
it's a sport.
are some of the
Maybe
most
under the
in-shape
combat
athletes
umbrella?
on the face of the earth.
Some former athletes, too.
I appreciate the person that Stephon Diggs introduced us to, the guy who said, I'm going to be famous. Stephon goes, this guy wants to be famous. All right, let's get it. He fucking won.
He did, and he got knocked on his ass. Yeah.
The guys.
Yeah, his face is just I'm a fucking guy.
One lady almost broke her neck after she got
Front
knocked out.
flip.
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
She almost snapped her
Dude,
neck.
this is wild that this is on
Put
TV.
a gymnastics mat behind them so when they get knocked out,
They
I know
have
they
it.
catch them. They try to catch them, but
Man, how'd you like to have to do that for a living?
Well, I think the thing I love about it is like boxing and mixed martial arts, when you're out and they stop as like fight's over.
Yeah.
In this one, it's like you're out. All right, you got 30 seconds.
Yep. Get up.
If you can, if you want to step back up to, where is the table?
the one girl did a forward roll. She was falling
That's
over.
what
the
I'm
top.
talking
That was the broken
Yeah.
neck, yeah. But I think if she would have been able to get up with the 30-second time limit, they would have said, she's good.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Get back in the ring.
Do we know what the prize money is?
I think $25,000 and a gift card to Long John's.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Player
Getting
safety.
famous.
Yep.
Contestant safety, not an issue, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Like every other sport is worried about it.
It's TBS, right? Is this on TBS?
Yeah, right after Conan.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Just like Liv comes on right after Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the CW.
That's right.
That's right.
that
And
could
One
kill you.
Tree Hill.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
What's if somebody dies from that?
Someone
They sign a waiver.
Right.
You scoop their body up and
Yeah.
fucking haul 'em out.
Die.
Yeah, if they die, they get the grand prize of $35,000. So
To their family estate,
Yeah.
which does get taxed.
Yeah, for sure. And caskets are not cheap. Neither is internment or anything.
but
like
it'll
that.
cover half of that.
Anyways, that debuted last night, and hopefully Stephon Diggs will be doing watch-alongs every single week.
Yep.
Keep going, Stephon.
So I don't know if I can watch the whole thing.
Need a megacast. Diggs megacast.
It was a Diggs megacast on his IG story, which we appreciate. All right, let's get to a break. Von Miller joins us. Can't wait to meet these fine folks that paid to be here. Bad decision with their money, but they did donate to an incredible cause, which is the Chuck Strong cause, which has raised millions and millions of dollars for cancer research. Fucking great work out of you, Chuck.
Unbelievable. Come AJ never does that.
And your hair grew back. Remember, there was a time we thought you were going to ball forever.
My co-host, Antoine Bethea, we went Chuck Strong at Thursday night game. My dog never came back.
That's
Good
full
calls,
commitment.
bro.
That's awesome.
Hey, good calls.
A lot of good people out there.
I shaved my head as well, and I have the biggest, blockiest head of all time.
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Had a guy that never cut white people's hair doing it either. Every once in a while, that pulling my hair.
Jeez.
I just need a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Little finesse.
Feather it in there.
You ever cut a white guy? Never. All right, feels like it. Yeah, we'll get there. I'm happy to be the first. All right, pulling my hair out. Jesus. Good cause though. He came back later that season, didn't miss a beat.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Chuck, you're an inspiration, pal.
Boy, Chuck.
Appreciate you. All right, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, huh? Be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5. Now it's time for SmackDown Rumble Championship Weekend.
We just had another Super Boost.
Oh, yeah. What a fucking 3-day run. I'm lucky to live this life, and I'm thankful that you all watch.
Here we go.
Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out of the way 'cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of it.
The home of Brittany Mahomes.
You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Please work with Gary. Hey, my dude.
No, squeeze the Bible. Yeah. Wow, that's what I was trying to do. All right, well, see you later.
I have a good try.
I'm giddy. I am so pumped. It's like the night before the first day of school when you were a kid. I know it's being said that the GOAT of the NFL, Tom Brady, is retiring. Well, the GOAT of the WWE, Roman Reigns, is in his prime at his peak. Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday! All right, our sources haven't confirmed whether or not Drew McIntyre can be standing up, but come on, Cole! Come on, Cole! Feel it, Cole!
You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Coltrane has gone to the sky.
I'm dangerous, down wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes, the opposition don't amaze. The road switching through the pavement, get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. Guess what happens when you taking care of your business? Plus a friend, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. You still got a problem, man. Let them.
Oh, fuck you, Pin.
Cole, that is one of the worst of all time.
The worst pores of all time.
And a baby Foxy! Just so everybody knows, it is noon right now. And a blue stick.
Chameleon gold and magenta jacket. Big Cuban link. Obviously, good launch. Pinky chain. Gold-plated Steve Madden's.
When I woke up this morning in beautiful St. Louis, the air smelled better, food tasted better. Tonight, dreams come true, surprises are in abundance. It's Royal Rumble, let's go! A jackass has entered the Royal Rumble. Jack, good to see Wee Man is still alive after Brock Lesnar put him through a 4 seasons table last night. He is dressed like a jackass, he is a jackass, and he's in the Royal Rumble. He looks good, it sounds good. St. Louis is ready. The alpha male of our species is infuriated. Jump over the rope bed, buddy. You got 2 tours. You got fans, you got music to make. You want to poop your pants immediately? Be in the Royal Rumble when this man is announced. I'm buying all of the depends that they have because Brock Lesnar, after a brutal fight
and another super boost. Back to back. Back to, hey, back.
Why'd you choose college coaching?
I was coaching on the backside of the desert for a long time. I started off with youth football. We had one of the biggest programs in the country with ages 5 all the way through 14 and several teams of each age group. Name was Truth. Trust in God, respect myself and others, understand I have unlimited possibilities, try my best, never give up, and honor the truth in His creed at all times.
Oh, that's a good one.
And we took the whole state of Texas and we went and played all around the country. That's what I was doing for a decade. Then I got into high school football. Then after high school, I'm just sitting there, all the kids about to go, Shiloh, Bucky had graduated from SMU, Shiloh was at South Carolina, and Shador was getting ready to go play for Coach Taggart. I started getting the call, phone-star rating, let me really consider that. So I interviewed on a couple of interviews and knocked them out of the park, but it wasn't the time. And I accepted the Jackson State challenge, a tremendous challenge, because I'd never been to Jackson. I'm like, HBCU, I don't really know a lot about it. Let me do my homework. And I accepted the challenge. Then Shador said, you know what, Daddy, I'm riding with you. And Shiloh like, Daddy, I'm riding with you. So now I got both my sons there and the other son doing all those social media. And it just became a wonderful thing. And being able to grab those guys, when the Bible says you ride in that staff, they comfort me. Without the guys around you, you're not going to be comforted. So I learned to put some pretty good guys around me, just like when I returned punt. If I didn't have 10 dogs in front of me blocking their butts off, I wasn't going to be prime. So I've learned to always keep some dogs around me to make sure I can go do what I'm blessed to do. And that's the formula of coaching, man. Just having some good coaches around you and we're not friends of the kids. Everybody talking about these kids are different. The kids ain't no different. Their coaches have changed. Kids ain't no different. They the same old kids. Coaches have changed. Quit pacifying these kids, and they want discipline, man. They want structure. They want to be told what to do and where to go and how to do it.
Colorado was the biggest job, biggest offer? Why?
No. Colorado was the best job and the perfect job for me because of Rick George, because of the AD, because of his spirit and what he spoke to me. He touched me, man. I was offered more money, of course, but money don't move me. Connectivity and the spirit and being in the right place and doing the right thing, that's what moves me and motivates me. If money was it, shoot, I'd have lost this a long time. You don't come to work because of the money. You come to work because you love doing what you're doing and the money seems to follow you. That's been my formula. I've sat in all three seats. I've been the kid on the couch. I've been the parent right next to the kid on the couch. Now I'm on the other side and the coach that you're talking to. So it's not nothing that I don't understand about this process. You want it prime, that's what you're going to get. I don't know how to dress it up and flip it no other way. I got to be me. I got to be me unapologetically. I'm going to be me.
Hey, we have issues with that with some companies because of that. I assume you've run into that case as well. Yeah.
I'm right back out of the door. They should have Googled me, did your homework, and asked a few questions because I'm going to be me.
Up next on PMSN 14, how a local man won thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from the world's #1 sportsbook this past weekend. With more, here's Nikki Lucini.
Hello and welcome to this special investigative report. What was once considered dirty and dangerous, sports wagering, now regulated and legalized, has many of us dreaming big. We're all searching for the big one, a wager of massive proportions. One of PMI's own, Boston Connor, was able to accomplish just that this weekend.
We sat down with the brazen member of the toxic table himself, just to find out how it all happened.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years or so of me placing these bets going all the way back to 2020, and you never think that every single guy on your parlay is going to score 2 touchdowns, let alone a same game parlay plus, but somehow, some way it happened. And I'm just relieved that telling people over and over and over again that plus 155,000 odds bets can hit finally did hit.
The wager consisted of 2 same game parlays, combined to create a same game parlay plus.
Devontae Adams, everyone said he stunk after last week because he only had 1 catch for 3 yards, so I figured Devontae's pretty good at football. He'll score 2. Travis Etienne, he was just kind of like, Etienne's playing well, he's never scored 2 touchdowns. You might as well just throw him in there just because, it. Austin Eckler, he always scores 2 touchdowns. And then Cordero Patterson, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he's just coming off the IR, and I figure when they get to the goal line, they'll give it to Cordero, and they did. So that's kind of why I picked those 4. There's there's no real rhyme or reason, but yeah.
We did the math to calculate just how much of an investment this actually was. 50 total weeks at a median bet amount of $25 was $1,250 in 2+ touchdown parlays with a net of $26,750 after hitting this same game parlay plus.
Really? Holy shit.
What do you plan to spend the remaining winnings on?
Sunglasses and bubblegum, maybe cigarettes, I don't know.
Until next time, good night, good morrow, good luck, and good fortunes.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Thursday, January 19th, 2023, Hour 3 starts right now. Football! It's obviously what has brought us all together here today. Isn't that right? AJ Hawk, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, and COVID survivor. Football is the sport that really brought us all here today. Isn't that right, AJ?
Yes, it is. And great adjustment for the folks in the viewing audience there in the Thunderdome.
Well, as you pointed out the awkwardness, we all got to experience it in real time. That's right. You know, as we were just standing here with EJ and Kara, incredible Indiana natives and incredible donors to the Kicking the Stigma Foundation.
Yeah, Canty didn't donate, but
which
whatever.
is, well, that's Matt Conti, and that is the Colts PR guy. Conti used to be very low in the Colts PR ranks.
Sure.
We're talking real low down here. Mm-hmm. And what has he done? Oh, I don't know. Just put his blinders on, worked his ass off. Now what he has actual say with the Indianapolis Colts.
Right.
Conti, we couldn't be more proud of you too.
Love you, Conti. Can we ask him?
Want to let you all know, anytime anything goes wrong with the Colts, for instance, Jim Irsay blowing up a bathroom.
Yes.
And McGinnis, we send a text to this guy and go, Conti, what the fuck
happened?
And Conti always goes, what are you? Conti, you're the best. EJ and Kara, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly.
Thank you.
Kicking the Stigma is an initiative launched by Jim Irsay and his family in 2020 to raise awareness about mental health disorders and remove the stigma often associated with these illnesses, and raise and distribute funding to nonprofits and other organizations to expand mental health treatment and research. Shout out to them for doing that. It's obviously been a massive push for Jim Irsay, his family, and the Colts, and we get a chance to benefit from it with two very cool people, EJ and Kara, and then obviously getting to see Conti.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Real treat.
Always a pleasure.
You guys really lit up whenever you saw Conti's face come into this place, didn't you?
Great guy.
Absolutely.
He's a good guy. And I would like to know, whether or not Irsay took a massive shit in Josh McDaniels' home bathroom.
So
that's why he's not the head coach of the Colts.
So this would actually be the person who has to shape the answer
Exactly.
from the Colts
Bingo.
about Jim potentially harrying from Dumb and Dumber
Yes.
the McDaniels family toilet.
Exactly.
So we will let you know that's what's being talked about, Conti. So if you would like to prepare
Get
a
on it.
statement, I mean, that would be something that we would all like. EJ and Kara, great people. We have no idea why you chose this particular auction thing to pay for, but we do appreciate you being good people and donating. Now, let's move on here, shall we? Chuck Pagano, you're a great guy. You know that, Chuck?
Well, I appreciate that.
Chuck, the talk about the head coaching search is a real thing. And Von Miller and them are at practice still, I believe. So
Uh-oh.
No.
Bad practice. Slow Thursday.
yesterday they were too fast. We missed a window to interview Gabe Davis because their practice ended much earlier, so they moved the meetings and the time slot up. So Gabe Davis's time slot was no longer what we thought it was because they ended practice early, which we all said was a good thing. They must have been practicing fast, AJ. Now today, seems like they're going full length. Darius, what do you think happened out there?
You know what? I don't want to jump to any conclusion. We'll have the pseudo GM on in a little bit with Von Miller. So
Maybe.
I ask him.
We got to figure
What's
that.
going on?
We got to
But
figure out that
It's not me,
microphone.
guys.
Put it on the outside or unzip the thing a little, maybe.
maybe.
No, you look too cool. Do not sacrifice any of your look for the sound of the program.
Fucking Nick's job?
Oh, no, I think we get it. You look cool all the time. The audio matters.
Yeah, it's not the shirt though; it's the frequencies.
Jealousy's a tough look on you.
What's the frequency? Yeah, me. I that's true. I do care about how I dress and look every day. So
Guy wouldn't put shoes on today because he didn't like how they felt on his feet after wearing flip flops every day.
Bingo.
I was so excited for him too.
once you cross that, threshold of comfortability, you never go back.
Let's move along. Does this mean anything we don't know? Is this when their practice was supposed to end? Probably. We'll be talking to Von Miller in a few minutes. Massive game this weekend. And when we look at the slate, AJ, we've talked obviously about a few of the games. Which one have we not chatted about enough, you think, AJ Hawk? Is it potentially the Chiefs and the Jags because this team of destiny is now 8.5-point dogs, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they were down, 27-0 to the Chargers and were able to come back in a playoff game? Have we not talked about that game enough? Which game do you think we haven't spent enough time breaking down, chit-chatting about, and predicting how we think it's going to go, AJ Hawk?
Well, Jags-Chiefs, no question. I think that one flies under the radar a little bit, but I think Giants-Eagles, I think we could dive into that. Like, what? 7.5 points does seem like a lot going against this Giants team that has a bunch of juice. They're dancing before practice today. I know I saw that clip. Like, their confidence is sky high.
Yeah, I think the Giants having that Daboll effect is good. And that being a division game, Chuck, what are you saying if you got a divisional rival in the divisional round? That's good for your team if you're the underdog, right? That's great for your team, I'd assume, in all facets?
Yeah, and to beat a team 3 times in a row the same season. They swept them in the regular season, right? Philly? Mm-hmm. Is that what we're talking about?
How come it's tough?
Crazy.
How come it's tough to do that?
Huh?
3 times. Why is it so difficult, you think?
Law of averages. The last game, week 18, it was 22-16, right? They were supposed to blow them out. Giants didn't play anybody. And you got a team like Jacksonville going to Kansas City, they're playing with house money. Now, Daboll ain't going to say that because he's going to tell those people, hey, we're going to win this game. And the way Danny Dimes is playing, Saquon's running the ball, and Wink's got the defense going. Now, Wink did an unbelievable job last week. You featured it on, everything DB, the way that secondary, they're usually playing cover 0, blitzing, sending a lot of guys. He played coverage, and he took JJ out of the game. 5 catches for 40, 50 yards, no touchdowns. That's huge.
What were they saying, AJ? They're saying Wink wasn't doing as many amoebas. Yeah, he wasn't doing as many exotics this year. He kind of changed and evolved. Is that what D-Butt said? Do you agree with that whenever you're watching the Wink Martindale defense for the G-Men?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I think Wink does, too, he doesn't want to let the offense dictate the game to his defense. And I always love when a D coordinator is like on board with that. Hey, like, no, they got to respond to us. We're not going to sit back and let them kind of dictate what they want to do.
We set the tone around here. We set the vibe. 7.5-point spread there, 8.5 for the first one on Saturday. I mean, those are big spreads, especially with Tone Diggs' stats about the dogs in the divisional round. What was it?
Yeah, so in the last 20 years, in division favorites in the divisional round are 2-4 straight up and 1-5 ATS.
Let's write that down. T-Butt, good idea.
The dogs? Smart.
Yeah. No, the favorites.
The favorites
are 2 and what?
2-4 straight up and 1-5 ATS.
Wow.
The thing to watch there in that game, because the Winks defense plays a lot of 7. My audio.
This is how you're going to have to use
it sounds terrible.
This is unbelievable. How's it go for 2 hours and then it just completely stops? The guy in the back there, the Italian, is trying to censor you.
Conti.
It's Conti, baby. Matt Conti doesn't want you to speak. Who would have thought Matt Conti comes in here? No, somebody can't hear what Darius is saying.
I would have thought that.
But the Giants, they play a lot of 7
bitch.
DBs out there. And that last week 18 matchup when the Giants backups were pretty much playing, I feel like the Eagles kind of cruised to that. I feel like they didn't really have foot on the gas. No real run plays called for Jalen Hurts. That's going to be the.
Oh, is he going to do that? Because I saw them debating that this morning. Should Jalen run more with the shoulder because that's going to be a target? He's saying, and Jalen said, "I'm a target every time I step on the field or whatever." He's going to play how the game is going to be played. You think Sirianni's going to look out for him?
No, it's the playoffs. So you got to. This is everything's on the line. So you got to run him, and that's how you get Wink out of that. You can't play 7 DBs on the field if you're to Lombo's, or what he calls it, a 6-back offense, but you add that quarterback in, that takes up another blocker for the defense, another guy to be blocked on the defense. So Jalen Hurts' run game will be the difference in this game, in my opinion.
Lombo calls him a 6-back because there's 5 skill players normally on the field. Jalen becomes the 6th. He's the 6-back because you have to account for him, and we see it all year in all of the different film that we watch. Anytime he even threats to take the edge, it makes a safety or a linebacker jump, and it opens up everything. He has become a phenom. He's young. Jalen's still very, very young. He's in the MVP conversation. 1 year it took for him to get to that point where he was maybe going to be a bust and sent out of the NFL. Here's the ages of the 8 remaining quarterbacks in the NFL playoffs. This is great news for the NFL that is only growing and growing. Trevor Lawrence, 23 years old. Brock Purdy, 23 years old. Jalen Hurts, 24. Danny Dimes, 25. Same age as Stetson there. That's the median.
That's
Stetson,
right.
we will now go old. Joe Burrow, 26. Josh Allen, 26. Mahomes, 27. Dak Prescott's old ass at 29. We're talking to Aaron Rodgers yesterday, or 2 days ago. He's 39 years old.
Yep.
45 is what Tom is. That was kind of been the generation. This is that new era, AJ, and the new era is great. Very good. And if you're a team that doesn't have one of those guys, should be something you should be thinking about.
Yeah, I'd
you know
say.
what I mean? It should be something you should be thinking about,
Conti.
especially with the ages of these quarterbacks
Yeah.
in the AFC side, AJ. You know what I'm saying?
Well, don't you? I remember, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago when people were saying, hey, when this like generation of the Drew Brees, all these guys, like when Peyton,
Phil.
all these old quarterbacks are retiring, then, hey, what are we going to, we're not going to have these superstars anymore. But no, the NFL always reloads. There's more quarterbacks always coming, I feel like.
We're in the middle of a transition era.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
big
still
time.
just, the ratings are just as good because normally you would think that something could potentially see a drop off. This is hand the baton to this generation. They're running with it. We got superstars all over the place, especially in the divisional round with the most amount of eyes. That's brilliant for the NFL if you're over there. And what's the street they're on? What street are they on? The NFL headquarters in New York?
345.
Park Avenue?
Park. There it
345
is.
Park.
345 Park. This guy has an apartment there.
That's right.
Yeah, and that list doesn't include Lamar or Justin Herbert. So obviously, you know, there's a lot of really good talent.
Or
Mac
Sam
Jones,
Ehlinger.
or Kenny Pickett, or Sam Ellinger. A lot of other guys out there.
Is that who it's going to be, Conti?
Yes or no?
How about Conti? Like, this is for something that's good. Kicking the stigma donation, massive
Right.
donation. EJ and Kara, we appreciate the hell out of you.
Hell yeah.
Obviously making the world a better place. Conti puts his face in a place where he can't be seen. Smart
Perfect
play.
spot, yeah.
That's good PR move right behind the camera. But I don't know how we're not supposed to just ask.
No, yeah.
Yeah. What are you guys going to do?
They
It
just
feels like
finished
you're
an interview,
fucked.
too.
Conti, what are we doing? Huh? Are we okay? Are we hiring a coach soon? When's that going on, Conti? Interview's still going on.
Of course.
All right.
You guys trading up in the draft or?
Jeff's interview just got finished.
I've heard from people Jeff Saturday would be I think it would
Welcomed?
be a positive
Home
reaction
run.
if Jeff Saturday was to be in there, is what I've heard. Now, you're going to judge Jeff Saturday because he, was the coach of the team that gave up 33-0 lead in the NFL, largest in the history of the NFL.
33-0 fourth quarter, also largest in the history of the NFL.
Can you imagine how
Dallas.
difficult a situation he stepped into?
Oh. Oh.
Not as difficult as
Yeah, I was
Mrs.
trying to fend
McDaniels.
off a lot of people because of the situation he was in. I mean, it was a full scene.
There's other guys on that staff that had opportunities to be like coordinators and stuff and said no moss because they didn't have what Jeff has.
Well, and also didn't want to. Like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want this on my record. I don't want this on my resume. Jeff Saturday's like, you, what about me? I'm in Georgia with my family, having a time of my life. Jim calls me in the middle of a Sunday. I'm not even watching the game. Brother, what's going on? He's like, are you in the bathroom right now? Is this going to be a 2-hour conversation? Or is this going to be a 10-minute conversation?
That's a good question.
And then Jeff gets in there, and I wonder if Jim saw enough in the audition process from the second half of the year of him being a head coach, just behind the scenes, not even on the field,
This
behind the scenes.
This goes way beyond the field.
Yes.
It's what transformation took place based on what was going on before Jeff was there and then what transpired after.
33-0.
Doesn't that still need to translate to the
forget-
field, though?
It will. You got to look beyond. You got to take a 30,000-foot view.
Joining us now. Let's go. I just got a heads up. We'll change the
That's how it
subject. Join us now. We don't wanna
Conti.
waste- We don't want to waste any more time. We will get these answers in the next 30 minutes out of the man that's sitting right over here.
Yep.
Next to the fine people, EJ and Kara. Hoosiers who donated great money being here. Don't offer this up often. Had no idea what we were supposed to do. We will have a live audience in here. We were just going to push this until live audience was here, so it's not as uncomfortable. EJ, Kara, good people.
Yeah, they're passionate. Not Canty.
Join us now, another great Conti won't give us any answer
Exactly.
on anything.
That's why.
This guy's lips are sealed.
good at his Some job. People.
Joining us now is a man who's fantastic at his job as well. His current job is job shadowing the general manager while also being a motivator in the locker room of the Buffalo Bills. Ladies and gentlemen, future Hall of Famer, two-time Super Bowl champion, Von Miller. Boys!
We need a bar.
Boys!
We need a bar.
How we doing, boys?
We doing good, man. With my dog Trey White.
Hey, welcome back, Trey. You healthy? You feel good? Life good?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? Happy holidays to y'all, man.
Hey, I'm great. You happy to be back on the field, Trey? The team was different without you. I'm sure they were all excited to have you back. You're a game changer, brother.
Man, it's fun. It's fun to get back out there. It's been a long road, but I know I still got a ways to go, but it's fun to be back out there and having fun again, man. It's been a long process for sure.
Hey, corners, normally soft, warm weather, don't want to hit nobody. I see you with the ski mask on and short sleeves. It's cold as hell up there. What are we expecting this weekend, Trey?
We was inside today.
Oh, smart. That's that's a smart play. That's a smart play.
All right, Pat, man. It's good talking to y'all, man.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. Congrats. You're a hell of a ball player.
Yeah.
Hey, is Cole Beasley still there? We'd like him to drop, if he has a quick 8-16.
Cole right here.
Drop a beat.
Cole!
What's happening?
Hey, I don't want to put you on the spot too much here. You retired? Were you just like, I'm done with this shit? And then Buffalo called and like, you know what? Maybe I'll jump back into the game. What happened there?
Yeah, Tampa had me doing 45 plays in one practice. I couldn't hold up.
Welcome back to the league, Cole.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yes.
That was amazing.
That guy's also an MVP for me.
Wow.
Well,
goddamn right.
He did have he put out a diss tape.
He did.
During COVID. Hey, you tell Cole we said thank you for stopping by. I think it's the second time he's been on the show, third time he's been on the show.
Yeah, man, they heard that. They was like, man, what you doing? I was like, man, I'm getting ready for the Pat McAfee show. I was like, man, let me holler at him. So
Tell them I appreciate that. We're in the middle of a real conversation taking place, and Zito's like, Vaughn's on, Cole's on, and Trey White's on. I was like, in my ear, I'm like, what the hell? We appreciate it. Seems like vibes are high, though. How's it feel? Yesterday we heard a little bit of a quicker practice. That's good news. What do we got going on going into the weekend, Vaughn? What are you seeing from the boys?
I mean, today was a typical Thursday. At this point in the season, Coach McDermott is wanting to do what the guys feel is best. And, yesterday was a shorter practice. Today they picked it back up with walkthroughs and a little bit more film, and it was out on the field as well. So just dialing it up, getting ready for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Go ahead, AJ.
Vaughn, how's it been with you? I know. Have you been able to shadow the GM and all? Any surprises there? Any cool things you've seen behind the scenes?
Yeah, I've had, man. It's just been a blessing to be here with Brandon, man. I don't think it could have worked out better for me. Being with a guy that's just so eager to teach and so eager to fill me in, and with the type of path that I want, like whenever it's my time for the opportunity, I don't want to skip any steps. I don't want to just get a job just because of who I am. I want to be qualified and ready to go. And Brandon Bean, the knowledge that he gave me, man, he didn't have to, and to break it all the way down to basically an elementary level for me to understand and for me to pick up on it, man, it's a true blessing, man. Brandon Bean, he is the GOAT for real.
Hell yeah, he's been great on our show, and obviously what he's built in Buffalo has been fantastic. And I, as a sports stooge, would like to let you know, you should be getting jobs because of your fucking name, but I do appreciate that you're willing to put all the work in behind the scenes. I heard you brought in a Lombo.
Man, I want both. I want a little bit of both.
Yeah. Don't be scared to lean on it.
The John Elway, the John Lynch, they got a little bit of name, but they good at their job too. I want a little bit of both.
Yeah, you're okay. You're allowed to be successful at everything, which I think you will be. You got Greener Pasture Farms, which has some of the greatest chicken, honestly, going.
Yeah, thank you for the hat, man.
Greener Pastures chicken, bro. We're eating all the good. Hey, these chickens live a great life, don't they, Vaughn? Right down here at Greener Pastures.
Great life. They only had one bad day.
And they went to sleep and didn't wake up.
That's right. That slept good.
Real shame. But I heard you brought a Lombo in to the locker room. What was your thought behind that? Did you not think maybe this would be a jinx or a curse? What was the messaging, and how was it received in the locker room?
No, honestly, I got this strategy from Peyton Manning and DeMarcus Ware. Peyton Manning and DeMarcus Ware, they gave us a speech in 2016, right before the AFC Championship game, right before we played the Patriots for the second time of the season. Back then, Patriots teams, they haven't lost to two teams twice. They haven't lost to the team twice in one season, let alone the playoffs and this and that. And, DeMarcus and Peyton, they sat us down and they had a talk. And it was really just it was a visualization, visualization exercise. And DeMarcus had us all like close our eyes and, really focus on all the hard work that we've done and where we're at and the type of moment that we're in and, this special moment in time. And then he told us to open our eyes, and he was holding the trophy. So it was like, yes. And this was back in Denver. So we had 2 trophies in Denver. So DeMarcus had went and got the real trophy. I don't know where he got it from, but he had access to the real trophy. When he got the real trophy, and just being able to see it in front of us like that, it felt like it was attainable. Usually, first time in the playoffs, you got a lot of guys that never been here before. You know what you're playing for, but to really see that in front of you, for me, it really moved me, and I went out there and I had one of my best games as a pro. So when I went to the Rams last year, being back in that same Super Bowl like mindset and being able to be in a position to go compete for a Super Bowl, I had brought that same speech to Coach McVay, and Coach McVay put his little twist on it. He went and got the first Super Bowl that the Rams had talked about. And have you ever heard Coach McVay like motivate the guys or do any type of speech to a group? Like, he's phenomenal. So I told him about the speech. He took that speech and made it his own, and he didn't have us close our eyes or anything, but he set it up nicely for when he pulled out that trophy, everybody felt it like it was attainable. So, coming here to the Buffalo Bills, I felt like this was the right time, and I felt like, it was just a special, that's a speech that I had that had moved me. So having the opportunity to talk to the guys from Coach McDermott, I wanted to do that same speech, just a different style for my guys. It's worked twice before. Hopefully it can work a third time for us here in Buffalo.
You need to know this. Dawson Knox, whenever we asked him the difference between this year and last year, he said the addition of Von Miller has just been massive. Your peers respect the shit out of you. That is a great thing to hear. I would assume you're going to take it in and be like, well, Dawson Knox, hardworking guy. I'm lucky to be here. You just need to know everything you're doing is appreciated by everybody. So we appreciate the hell out of you too. Darius, your question for Vaughn.
Yes, sir. Vaughn, we heard reports that Damar Hamlin has been in the building. Just want to know how the vibe's been, how's he doing, and then how are you coming along with your rehab and injury?
Man, it's great. Having Damar in here, man. After the situation that happened, I didn't come on the show for 2 weeks. I wasn't there, in Cincy whenever it happened. So I wanted to I just wanted to be respectful about the situation. Yeah, he was doing better, but I didn't feel like I was in a place to really talk about it because I wasn't there. But for everything that I heard, and there he is right there. He's on the table right.
Hey, Damar, what's up, dude?
Yeah, he's in the other room. He's in the other room. He's in the other room. But, he's a superstar, man, and it's just been a blessing, and it just shows you that God works in mysterious ways, and it's dope, man. Every time I see him, every time I look at him, man, it's just this cool feeling of. It feels like we're playing for something greater than ourselves, man. So it's good to have Damar in the building and have his energy around for sure.
Yeah, we all thought he passed away, and your teammates with him, him. I think any ex-player and every human that watched that was pretty fucked up by the situation. Like the next day we were live, I was struggling to figure out what to say and how to say about the whole thing, Vaughn. It was scary as hell.
It was insane. I'm watching Monday Night Football, and that somebody gets hurt. First, it was Teron. Teron Johnson, he had got hurt the play before, and then Damar got hurt the second play. And it was just like, okay, maybe it's like a neck or a head injury or concussion. And, I'm just sitting here. They go to commercial break, and then they come back, and they go to commercial break again, and they come back. And I'm like, hold on. They're like, this is different. And, I started checking my phone, and I checked my phone, and I'm in the NFL PA chat. And they're telling me all the details of things that's going on. And I'm like, man, and they said they had to do CPR. And I'm like, man, CPR means that, your heart stopped. I'm still in game mode, and I'm still like, man, what's going on? And, I get more information from the guys in the locker room. Then they go into the locker room and they say they're not playing in the game. Then you just start to it just starts to settle in how serious the situation is. But it's good things that come out of events like this. We have a newfound appreciation for our teammates. These special moments that we have coming in the locker room. At any given moment, it can take away. And how about this training staff that we have? Here at the Buffalo Bills.
Denny, is that his name? Denny.
Man, it was Denny and Tabani and Nate and really all these guys. It's a huge team. Of course, Denny was the quarterback, but you got a huge team of guys. And really, after you're taken back and you can really process this information, they saved. Not only Damar's life, but they saved our league too. Because if you could just imagine, something, worse happening on the field in front of everybody, Monday Night Football, bright lights, like that would put, we already have a stigma about our sport and how violent it is. But, if the worst would have happened that night, man, that would have been a blackout that I don't think we could have recovered from. So our training staff here, man, they saved our league. They saved Damar, man. And, I'm just so grateful to be a part of such an amazing organization with such amazing people.
Before AJ's question, Darius also asked about your rehab and recovery. I assume it's going fantastic with what you just said about the medical staff up there in Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Mentally I'm still great. It's just you just got to take it 1 week at a time. It's 6 weeks. It's been 6 weeks on Tuesday. I'm just in here. I come in every day. I go to meetings and stuff, and I'm here in the training room, and I just try to. The hardest part really for me is not playing in the game. Not playing in the game the Saturday night before the game. Everybody's gearing up. That's really the hardest part of the week. I understand my situation. I know what I'm doing, but game day is game day. Like, you're out there. I'm going in the locker room, walking down the tunnel, and I go to my locker, and it's just like my pads are not in there. So that.
I wish
really
you had full pads on.
Oh,
can we not have you just have full pads
In
on?
the stands.
Man,
Like it's preseason. Tennis shoes, have it untied, have the full pads on. Yeah, treat it like a preseason game.
That would be crazy. But my rehab is going great. I got great guys working with me, man. Mentally, I'm still good, man. And I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Vaughn, do you know, I don't know if there's any plans for what Damar's going to do this weekend for the game. Do you guys have anything going on?
And before we get too far, we'd like to let you know that we have brainstormed a few ideas. Damar, four-wheeler, okay? American flag, Bills Mafia flag, everything out. He's obviously, it's going to be cold as shit.
Yeah.
So he's in whatever. He's leading team down ramp there. And I think we are playing some sort of song. Yeah, some sort of song. And I think we pop wheelie on four-wheeler.
2 wheels all the way.
And then the whole team introduced together. And I'm not sure there'd be a way for the Cincinnati Bengals to win that game if that was to take place. Are you hearing anything like that?
No, I'm not. I'm not hearing anything about that.
Oh, okay. All right. We didn't know. Our sources must have got
Tell him to consider it.
Please.
Man, Damar is like, he from that situation that happened, he's like he is a full-blown star now. Like, you got to sneak him in, you got to sneak him out. You can't let people know where he's at. You can't let people know that he's still there. Like, it is crazy, man. And it's so dope to witness and see all the love coming in for Damar. But I do not know what they're going to do. I'm sure they're going to have him motivate the guys in some type of capacity.
Could you imagine him standing on that four-wheeler? I'm sure he could figure it out.
Yeah.
Coming out one of these.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Place would
Nighty-night.
Crazy.
Oh, my God. Think about it, Bills. Hey, Buffalo Bills. You know you say that every time you say you always say Buffalo Bills with your accent. So it's hard for us to call them anything else other than the Buffalo Bills. That's what we call. The Buffalo Bills need to listen. That is something that needs to happen this week. But obviously, if Damar doesn't want to take the attention away from the game, we understand as well. That is an incredible story that we hope is celebrated because I think the entire world is celebrating alongside you guys with that particular situation. You guys have become like the I don't want to say like America's team because obviously that would be it, but it feels like the world is behind the Buffalo Bills. Do you guys feel that? The Buffalo Bills?
Man, it's just cool for God to use our sport in so many great ways, man. And we got so much stuff to play for. Back in the spring, we had the Tops, shooting. We had two snowstorms that took lives. We've lost players. We lost players' brothers. Dawson lost his brother early in the season, and I feel like I've always felt like whenever you're playing for something greater than yourself, you get the most, out of yourself and your team, man. And we got so much to play for, man. And I'm just so blessed and honored to be a part of this franchise for sure.
I wish we would be able to see you do your thing, but obviously we got many more years for that. Happy you're still in the building. Connor has a question for you, Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn, because you're with Brandon Beane all the time, are you showing him some of the stuff you see on social media? Like, hey, I think DeAndre Hopkins might help the Buffalo Bills out a lot. And also, hey, Jordan Poyer was on his podcast yesterday, kind of giving almost a goodbye because it's possibly the last home game for him and the Buffalo Bills. Are you letting him know that stuff?
Man, the crazy thing about being that he is so in tune with everything, personnel, with I can sit down and I can talk to him about players on another team, for the national championship game, you know, I texted him. I was like, "Hey, like, what are we looking at? Like, you know, what are we looking at?" And he just sent me a whole sheet of guys like that we're looking at. Guys on TCU, you know, guys on Georgia. You know, watch these positions. These are the guys, and you know, he is so in tune, and it's just been a blessing to be around. But you know, we you know, since me recruiting Odell didn't work, you know, I kind of shifted.
Did it? Hold on, he didn't make a decision yet.
He ain't made a decision yet, but we still got a couple more games. Since it's still a possibility, but the odds are down to, like, you know, the odds are down in the single digits right now. But you know, that's just one failure that I had, and I wouldn't even call it a failure. That's just one thing that didn't come through for me yet.
Exactly.
So we kind of shifted off of, you know, the guys that we're bringing in tomorrow, how to build a team like this, and the structure of guys that it takes to build a team like this. But like I said, man, like, Brandon, he is a open book. Like, I can sit down and we can talk about college, pro personnel, college personnel, like the difference between this and that. And just like I said before at the beginning, he breaks it down to an elementary level so I can understand it and I can build off of that foundation of knowledge.
So when you texted him about the national championship, who we were looking at, he said, well, here's like 4 guys from TCU and then also the entire Georgia roster.
Guys from Georgia. There's just like 20 guys from Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Dude, they are all – Vaughn, obviously you're a physical specimen. You have the ability to dip, rip, get low, maintain balance, and it's because of how hard you work and everything like that. I'm getting to see these college dudes now, and I don't know if it's a different world or not. AJ can attest to this. He's been around, and Darius too. These fuckers are all, everybody is 6'4", 6'5", running 4.5, 4.4s. It makes no sense how this is happening, Vaughn. I think that's the game, though. I think it's only going to continue to get better and better.
It's crazy. You know, Georgia played in the national championship, and, of course, they had, like, so many players that are pro-ready. But I tell you one thing about those Texas A&M Aggies. We got more players that are pro-ready than the University of Georgia. I'm telling you.
Hey, good luck, Vaughn. Good luck, Vaughn. Maybe 2035 or something like that.
You got some players now. You'll see it coming.
Yeah, I mean, make sure that little yell coach, the guy that does the things before the games the night before, is properly understanding the situation you guys are currently in as opposed to what you dreamed to be in. What a situation Texas is. You guys are a mess. You guys are a mess, Vaughn. Yeah. A mess.
But, you know, I always like to look at the bright side. You know, we're in the SEC, and we have massive talent. We got massive talent. We got all the money that you could possibly use to get this stuff right. We got great coaches. Jimbo is a great coach. I still think Jimbo is the guy for this team. And we just need one more year, man. And you know, we're going to see success this year. We're going to see it for sure.
All right, let's go.
Petrino's coming in.
Yeah, Texas is coming, too.
All right.
Wow.
Well,
Petrino coming
with
in?
Arch.
I believe Petrino's
OC
now.
Petrino might be going to Baltimore.
Petrino?
Yeah.
Bobby?
Bub? Yeah, neck brace.
Well, yeah, he might go to Baltimore.
They need to bring him to
Lamar,
Baltimore.
What?
It was Lamar's
Petrino.
when he won the Heisman.
I mean, you know, he's got some.
I thought the Aggies was getting Petrino.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
Aggies ain't getting nothing, Vaughn.
He's already there.
Yeah, he's there.
He's already there, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cliff Kingsbury was at USC for 3-4 weeks before he became, you know what I mean?
Petrino ain't left before him.
Yeah, well, middle of the day.
True.
Hey, let's be positive, guys.
He's already there. Already there. Sorry, Texas A&M. Your fans and you, Vaughn, have been through enough.
There he is.
Yep. Road rash and all.
Superstar.
Feel bad for him.
Just shouldn't have gone on a motorcycle that day.
Yeah.
Should have took the van.
Watching one too many Rough Riders anthem videos.
Been there.
Oh, my God.
Just saw wild hogs.
Ty has a question for you, Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn, I know earlier when we were talking to you, you weren't going to the games, you know, or at least at home or on the road because of the weather. And I think there's supposed to be a little bit of inclement weather. Now that it is the playoffs, are we full systems go? Are you going to be on the sideline this weekend? Maybe, I don't know, on the back of that ATV with Damar leading the boys out of the tunnel. What do we say?
You know, I've been on the sideline for the last 2 weeks. I was on the sideline for the Patriots game, and I was on the sideline last week for the Dolphins game. And you know, you just got to be observant. You got to be observant to the game. You got to know exactly where you are. You got to know exactly where the play is. You got to know exactly which way the offense is going, because I got to plan for it. I can't be in the way and the receiver comes out of bounds and they run into me. You know, I gotta be thinking 2 steps ahead. Then at the same time, I can't stand up as much because then it causes swelling too. So it's kind of the game within the game about me staying on the sideline, but I gotta be on the sideline with my guys. It's just an energy thing. You know, being at the game and being up at the suite is not it's not the same thing. So I got to be down on the field. I got to be around the guys, and I got to do my part of staying out the way, so I don't get in trouble when it comes to guys running and stuff. So it goes two ways, man. I got to be out there in the field, but at the same time, I got to be conscious of where I'm at and what type of plays are running on the field and where the offense is pushing the ball to.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that way. You have to be incredibly athletic to be on a sideline all the time, right? Don't you?
The worst part about it is when you're in front of the guys. This is when you're totally healthy. The worst part about it is, and I was talking to John Pagano too. Like he was my coach in Denver, and we talked about this. He said the worst part about standing on the sideline is when they start the offensive defense start running towards you, and you got guys behind you just putting their arm out, just trying to keep you in front of everybody to try to use you as a human shield. That is like
natural
the worst
reaction.
part. I was talking to John. He said some of his players did him like that, and he just turned around and started swinging.
That's very Italian. Here, go ahead, Chuck.
Hey, you remember the last time we were together, Vaughn?
At the Little League football game?
Little League football. Johnny's son was playing, right? And you showed up, watched Jagger play or Brody play. That was awesome.
Oh, I'm happy you remembered that. Jeez.
Wow. No, this guy's unbelievable. Hey, Vaughn, question for you.
Here we go.
Hey, so offensive line for the Bengals, they've got probably 3 starters down. Jonah's got a dislocated kneecap, whatever. Have you had a chance? I'm sure you're watching tape. You said you're going to meetings with those guys. Have you had a chance, and you guys played these guys, obviously, in the Super Bowl last year. Have you had a chance to break these guys down, these new guys, and help, Rousseau and Lawson and those guys as far as pass rushing these guys?
Of course, man. That's part of my job description, and you got to respect all of these guys. And the Bengals, they have a good team, but just like any good team, they have weaknesses. And this receiving core, Joe Burrow, this run game, Joe Mixon, those are the strengths. Now, just because those are the strengths doesn't mean that this offensive line is incapable. These guys have been winning games. Joe Burrow is really the truth, and I don't like making comparisons, but we can compare him to some of the greats. Like he just has this moxie about him. And I don't think you can bust out five whoever to block for him. Like he's gonna get the job done. So just because they have starters down, it doesn't mean that we're gonna have success here or success there. But as a defensive line, we have to take advantage of this opportunity. We got to take advantage of this opportunity to make plays for our team. And we know they got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and all these special wide receivers out there, and those guys are gonna make plays for sure. So as a defensive line, we got to make our plays versus their perceived weakness.
How's your 2K game coming along, PJ? Did you see they're releasing a majors one?
Yeah.
EA Sports is releasing.
EA Sports, yeah.
Looks better than 2K. I've been working on 2K, by the way, for like the last 2 weeks, so I can play against you at some point. I want to let you know.
Yeah, whenever you get ready, man. This new ESPN, I think it drops March 24th. It looks great. It looks really, really good. They have they had the rights to all of these top courses like the Masters and
right.
What's the one in Europe? What's the one in Scotland? Yeah, Andrews. They have
British Open.
So it's supposed to be exactly like those courses. Like these are the official courses that ESPN has the rights to. So it should be pretty cool, man. I have never. I've seen the Masters on TV, but playing the Masters for a video game, it has to be super cool. So I'm super excited about it.
How are you? Pretty good player out there, or what? Vaughn. You do not want to run into this motherfucker. That's pro golfer. That is me. Okay, that is me. I've won 5 straight on the tour. That's the Arnold Classic. That was in Columbus. General Bob Carpenter and A.J. Hawk are drunk in those suites in the back as I'm hoisting that trophy right there. I've been putting in real work on this. I love the game. I enjoy the hell out of it. I'm starting to really get good.
I love it too, man. And it's it just brings out the competitive spirit. Everybody.
What are you laughing about? What were you laughing about with pro golfer right there?
What the fuck was that?
Did you see how many updates?
The fact that you're pro golfer.
Disrespect.
What happened? You're allowed to wear shorts on tour?
When you're pro golfer, you're fucking wild too.
When you get a clip, you got a clip?
It does look like I had a little butt chin there. Yeah. What's that, AJ? What's your
Those
problem?
little baby shorts on those baby quads.
That's a part of it.
What's up with the legs?
What are you
They got a little tan on there too.
Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Vaughn. Pro golfer's been out there working.
Yeah.
I've been winning, man. Do you play do you build your own golfer, or are you golfing as other people?
Yeah, I built my own golfer, and I tried to make it. Make it look like me, but he looks more like Patrick Mahomes. Like every time I'm playing, he looks like Patrick Mahomes on the golf course. I got to find a picture for you guys, but my golfer, he looks like.
Sounds like you have a little resentment towards your golfer there.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Bad chemistry.
No, it's good. I mean, Patrick, he's a great golfer. Yeah,
true.
We got the same financial advisor. We got the same financial advisor, so I'm familiar with Pat, and he invited me to his golf tournament in Hawaii. I wasn't able to make it, but we supposed to meet up on the links coming soon. So, hopefully I have a little bragging rights this offseason whenever I see him on the links. So this should be a good one this offseason.
All right, I'll see you on 2K sometime, or probably that new game. Actually, we're probably
2K's dead.
Yeah, sounds like
Good run, 2K.
Sounds like it's been a blast. I'm happy I got into a game. It's going to be dead.
Yep.
That sounds like my life in a nutshell. Shout out to you, Vaughn, for joining us every week. Other than obviously the last two, we've appreciated it. You did not have to do this. It's been a great season. Are you going to be out at the Super Bowl? Yes.
Yes,
of course.
sir. Yeah,
of course.
I'll be there. I got the Vaughn cast. We got media roll on that I think it's that Thursday and that Friday, and then it's Arizona too. Hopefully we'll be able to hit the links and do all that stuff too, man. It should be cool.
Okay, so we'll need you to stop by the set. Need you to stop by the set. We'll be at Radio Row as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Von Miller.
Yeah, boy!
I love that man.
Legend.
He does not want to run in a pro golfer right now. Though. I'm swinging a stick right now. Pro golfer is shaping shots. I mean, we're making putts.
But the game's about to be discontinued, or what?
Exactly.
It's got a couple months.
That's what I just heard. I just got into video gaming first time at 35.
The good thing about golf games is they're pretty much all the same.
Bingo.
Yeah. So I'll be able to take this work.
You're going to have your swing down. I mean, granted, you might be able to carry on the pro golfer name. Definitely not the character itself, but it'll bring more tournaments and more majors.
When did I get the name pro golfer? Did we know that?
That's what it's set as when you. So you never changed it. Yep.
That's the default.
Yeah, everyone starts with the name pro golfer, actually, when they make their character.
All right, good. I was always confused why that was my name, but I was just fucking playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't get an answer on Vaughn's. I wonder what is it? Did he name his guy Patrick
Probably
Mahomes, or
what if he's got pro golfer?
Wait, is he playing he's golfing on Twitch, right?
Driver 293. He's got a good ball usage. What's he doing here? We could probably hit a little fade here if you're gonna be a little righty.
Got the Adidas.
He's only hitting at 293.
Hold on, he is gonna hit a fade. He's gonna hit a fade, right?
He's got the wind at his back.
He's not hitting a fade.
Got the wind. Got 7
little
miles per hour
a little
wind.
butter cut.
That's a great ball. That's a great ball.
yeah.
I mean, he's not hitting it.
That's a good. He's got a good golf ball too. You see that roll?
Yeah,
that's a good ball.
I don't know what ball that is, but you need that.
What are we talking about? He's only hitting at 294.
Look, there's a fucking. There's a
340.
He just hit a 344.
Yeah, with roll, but he's only. Mine's going 380.
He's gonna start using a little
tough putt.
This is a tough putt.
The undulation on this thing.
You got to get way right here.
Yeah, I sure hope he's not using the. Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Vaughn. That's a tough look, Vaughn.
Can't be good guess though.
What are we doing? You cannot use the tracer. What is this,
Vaughn.
preschool?
Let him use a tracer.
What
Wait,
the
you're not
hell?
allowed to? You guys don't use that?
No, putting is impossible too.
Beautiful putt.
That doesn't count. What are we cheering for? Are we serious here?
He is cheating a little bit, but he fucking made a putt. You see the highlight? They don't got the tracker on there.
Yeah, it's a good putt, but pro golfers definitely not doing that.
Might have been a practice round.
I don't like that they have to show the guy that you're challenging to every hole.
Yeah, I'm sick.
I'm sick of looking at it. I'm beating the guy. I don't want to fucking see it.
Yeah.
You have to watch him? You have to watch his shots too?
No, you can just power through it, but they force you to challenge somebody. They're like, hey, you're at this tier. We recommend you. Your agent is speaking for you, which I don't like. I haven't had the opportunity to not have an agent. Don't like that at all. But we would recommend that you take this challenge, and it's like Justin Thomas or whatever.
Yep.
And by hole 4, Justin Thomas is fucking dead. I'm 3 under already. That's +1. But at hole 6, I can show a highlight of him coming out of the sand.
Check in on Xander Schauffele.
I'm like, I don't care. I'm beating his ass. I don't want to know what he does.
And that was an update from the last game. Last game, it was even, it took longer to skip those little highlight segments as well.
All right. I've been playing a lot. I've been trying to power through these to get as many reps as I possibly can. Try to earn up my points so pro golfer can really become pro golfer.
Yeah, win that tour championship.
Hey, it's helping me in real golf. Just want to let you know.
Nice. I believe it.
Did you build your guy?
Changed his clothes, obviously.
Yeah, bucket hat.
As soon as I found out that was available, I didn't have a lot of options. I don't think, right?
No, not yet, but you will unlock a lot because year 1 on the tour they don't give you much.
I got a Nike deal too. I don't know why he's dressed like such a slappy. I didn't see any Nike options.
So that's the tiers. As you get more, you advance your tiers with your Nike contract, you'll start getting some sweet gear.
Oh, how many tournaments I got to win? I'm in fucking 5 straight. Why doesn't Nike just send over some stuff?
It's a game of years, it feels like. I don't know how many tournaments.
Well, that's not me. Everybody knows that's not me.
No,
I mean,
not years in our time. Years in pro golfers' time. So you just got to complete a couple years on
By the
tour.
time the good game comes out, I'm not going to play another. I'm going to be able to finally get a
You won't be
Nike
playing this.
Polo.
In 2 weeks, you won't be honest. His legs and shorts are just killing me. Jeez.
Great belt, though.
Guy's a player.
Oh my goodness.
Guy's a player. You should see him. He's got J's too. You can't see the feet. He's got
Nice.
he's got little.
Do you get more and more jacked? Like, can you work out with him and get him jacked?
He's hitting the ball further. I know that. I don't know exactly why. Changed the ball. The ball is a big deal.
Huge deal.
I didn't know that. Connor sent me full transparency here. Okay, we're in the safe zone. This is off the record.
Yes.
I asked Connor numerous times, how do I change? Like, I would like my guy to maybe not have the standard outfit, because it was all a big laugh whenever I found out the reason why it's pro. Everything I'm wearing is just what you're issued. Pro golfer, literally the name you're issued. And I don't even know how to change any of that. I'm just golfing here. I'm just moving. So I'm like, Connor, I would like to change the way my guy looks a little bit. Connor sent me a 3-minute, all right, you're going to go here. You need to press R3, R1, go into this, do that. What? I only listened to a minute of it. That's why that's as far as it got.
Yes.
There's nothing really updated. It is so much fucking work. Let me get a polo on the guy. You know what I mean? Let me put some black, nice pants on the dude. Not even available because he's such a bum.
Yeah.
But I'm beating the shit out of people on this golf course with him.
You got to buy them. You just got to say, fuck it, and buy them. You know, you spend 500 coins on a nice, Nike dry fit polo, maybe some Nike slacks. You already got the J's.
Yeah, but I'm a Nike guy, and I got a Bad Bunny bucket on.
Well, or buying the game, I believe you are issued a Dude Perfect sweatshirt, so you could go back to that if you want to.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
I just got
Chad
some,
or Brad?
Tyler.
It's fucking Tyler.
You're
okay?
a prick.
I actually just saw some of their stuff last night.
On PGA 2K?
No, I don't know if they were on there. No, they're whatever they do, making trick shots.
They're amazing. I saw the green screen of the
what was
zip
that
line.
about?
Hey, kayfabe. What are we
Were
doing?
they making fun of people saying that they fake it, or
I couldn't tell if that's what they were doing or if that's what they.
I thought they were
actually
making fun of people saying they're fake.
I seen Tyler bury a football.
Yeah.
First try, right?
Cowboy Stadium.
One
that was
try.
such a far throw, too.
Tiny hole.
Absolutely.
try. Yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. Got to go talk to EJ and Kara, and Conti needs to give us a scoop on the shit that Jim Irsay talked
Hey,
about.
for real though, honestly, what is Conti? How does he's the PR guy, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
So you got to try to paint it in a good picture. I assume he can't hear me. You don't have ears.
Conti can't hear you. We have the speakers open. He can't
Oh,
hear
you do, but okay.
He's
So then
acting
what do
like
you say?
he can't.
Hey,
he can't.
at least let's say this alleged dump happened. This 2-hour dump. Allegedly, it did happen. I'm not saying it did. What he was in the bathroom. That's what the bathroom is for. At least he didn't go into the guest room or the kitchen and dump.
Conti, can we get an official quote from the Colts on the dump that Jim Irsay took at McDaniel's house that is being reported?
It's a bathroom.
He said no. He cannot get official quote.
Smart. Good job.
Hey, say what you said.
Yes, very low in the totem pole, was not there that evening, and have not reached out to Mr. Irsay.
He starts laughing.
Yeah.
Don't you laugh? This is real deal. Laughing in the middle of
This
that.
fucking guy.
The dump's not the issue. It's whether or not he was tugging his gherkin in there.
That's true.
That's
It's gonna be tough for
Is Jim
Conti
going to
to
have
ask.
to say, does Jim have to come address this and be like, I was not taking a 2-hour diarrhea dump in their bathroom?
Conti, how are you going to handle this, bub? PR. We got a lot of poop shit talk going on right now with her. There's more important things going on.
Like what? Like what?
All right. That is Conti's life, though.
Yeah.
There was a nurse,
That's
actually.
tough.
There's a photo of a nurse carrying a turd that people were saying, looks
yeah.
like this might be Mrs. McDaniel's in 2018.
Yeah.
All right. So it might have been it. We don't know. We'll
Could
let
be. There's a
Conti do the
chance.
research. And
Well, should we just pop it up and see if Conti can tell us?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he'd be able to.
Identify the
Man,
turd.
you can't search anything on Twitter anymore.
Dude, this, of course not.
No, you
No,
can't.
it has become a
Elon's
wild,
Twitter
wild
is
west over
very
there.
triple X.
This guy got me
What
on
happened?
more pickles. He'll figure this out. This is the best.
What were you doing?
I don't know.
The best.
Well, Chuck would
Yeah,
go
what are
out
you
there
doing?
and say
What happened?
chop wood or some cliche thing, and it would get turned into something, and then Chuck would be like, what the and then Conti would have to be like, next time, let's do this, right? That's pretty
He's the best. Nobody better.
Conti's very good at his job. Conti also was the one that used to have to come up to me for some of my tweets and tell me, hey, not my opinions, just want to let you know that I am just the messenger here. This tweet is not being well received. And I go, all right, sweet, you're the messenger. Send this message back. He's like, well, why are you doing this to me?
Fuck off.
Why are you doing this to me? Why is this going to happen? So me and Conti, very tight. Been to Japan together.
What?
Experienced some great things together. Very happy for Conti.
He's also way too nice to us.
Yeah, and I'm like a obvious prick to him, and he's still nice to me.
Yeah, Conti's a good guy. He has to be.
Yeah.
With that being said, can we get a quote about the shit in McDaniel's house?
Please.
Yeah. Sooner than later.
Also at the Steelers-Colts game, we were yelling at him. I think
Oh,
it
he
might
did
have been
ignore
like
us,
before the game. He acted like he didn't know us.
Oh,
And
yeah,
some of us
that's
have not
right.
forgotten about that.
What happened? I'm sorry. Zito was giving me a heads up about a Colts interview that's taking place right now at the Bengals offense coordinator. That's happening? Bengals offense coordinator? This guy.
It was before the Colts-Steelers game, Monday Night Football. Remember, we were all
Yeah,
down
it was
there,
there.
and they were putting like the
yeah.
horseshoe together and everything. We were,
4 feet away from
exactly. We were yelling, "Country!" and he acted like he
You're the
didn't fucking know
man!
us. Yeah, we were really gassing him up. And
He's
he was
working.
He's focused.
Fucked up.
He's
Well, you yelled at Jeff, and he almost ran over there. He wanted
Yeah, I was going to say, Irsay
That's what
damn
I'm
near
saying.
jumped in. Or, I
No,
mean,
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday damn near jumped in the box.
head coach comes over, ownership comes over.
Right.
he forgot for a split second that
Oh,
he
hey,
was the
we're
head
watching
coach.
a game. Hey, Pat, whoa.
Oh, no,
second
I
half
got-
adjustments.
I got to go
He's
get
in there.
Tomlin
He
came and
was
sat
heading
with us for a
over.
while.
Tomlin stopped by. A lot of people from the other teams
Yeah.
came and talked to us. Not this
Everyone
current team.
but Candy.
Tomlin didn't give you that. Hey,
Fucking working.
That was awesome.
that was big time.
All right.
No
Before we get
cash?
out of here, Chuck.
We giving in cash?
Come on, Chuck.
Chuck, what's that?
We giving in cash?
Well,
Wade?
no, I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, there it was.
There was Jeff coming on over.
Yep.
These fine folks, EJ and Kara, who bought
Have
this.
them hit a putt.
EJ's a player. I will have him putt. He's a golfer.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But we got to have Chuck. So this will be the deal.
Come on, Eej.
If Chuck can make a shot, a throw, Chuck can make a throw or a shot, that'll go to EJ having to make a putt. And if that happens, we'll give 20 people $500.
Wow.
Two-parter here, not against each other, with
Parlay.
each other. This is a parlay, 2 legs.
What's Conti going to do?
Conti needs to figure out a quote about the McDaniels shitter. That needs to happen.
Tell us about the poop, Conti.
Ain't worried about McDaniels.
All right, Chuck.
So are people calling McDaniels and his wife to try to get the story?
So EJ, if he makes this, then you have to go 1 for 5 here. Yeah, he's a golfer. He's a golfer.
Simple.
That's it.
Now, the difficult part of this is Chuck Pagano being able to throw a football into that hoop right over yonder.
Come on,
Chuck,
Chuck.
if you're able to do it, and then EJ buries one of his 5 putts, we'll go 20 people, $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in there so we can pay them officially on Cash App. Chuck Pagano!
Ooh, okay.
So
That was close.
Chuck Pagano!
Oh, a little more.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paisano, Chuck Pagano!
Oh, thought that was in.
Ladies and gentlemen, if Chuck buries this,
One more.
check Beleta. Boom.
That's the one.
Glass?
Give him the whistle tip.
There's a Duke down there. There's a Duke down there.
Oh! Yep, there's more.
Where'd that come from?
Let's go. Bang.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Throw the Duke.
Duke.
Oh, the Russell Wilson's already over.
Boom.
Money.
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry, EJ.
punt one of those basketballs.
What if EJ makes 2?
All right, EJ, here we go, bud.
EJ would definitely
Come on,
make it to
EJ.
his sleep.
Yeah, from this
you?
hole over here, if you'd like. I'd say right edge is the read. Yep.
Here you go, EJ. Come on now.
EJ, a great man, obviously. EJ.
Put it right in front of him.
First, EJ alongside his wife, Kara, first people to watch a live show here. This was an auction item at Kicking the Stigma Colts Foundation. Right edge, EJ. Got to go
Great
right edge,
speed.
EJ. It's good putt, though.
Sorry, good
It's
speed.
good roll.
Right edge, right edge.
Good
Right
stroke.
edge, EJ. You got to go 2 of 4 here. Boom. Count it.
Get going, ball. Bring that
Smart
one back.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Smart. Bonus ball.
Didn't
Bonus
count.
ball.
Didn't count.
Bonus ball. Some people would knock that out of the way. EJ says, let me have another go. Same
roll
outcome,
ball.
EJ. We got to get it to the
A
hole.
little more.
Ball, EJ!
More,
EJ
EJ.
goes 1 of 3 here. We'll give 10 people $500 who retweet this video. Say something nice to somebody else.
Shit.
Is out here.
If EJ can go one of two here, we'll give 10 people $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag on the.
Bring it back.
Bonus ball.
Bonus ball.
Bonus ball.
EJ.
Come on, EJ.
Sweet shoes.
EJ, hey,
I know.
make the fucking putt, EJ. If EJ makes the putt, we'll give 10 people $500. That's all you need to do.
There it is.
That's all you need to do. Oh! Come on, EJ!
Come on, EJ!
He just wanted to build up the excitement. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Walk off.
Oh, Debo, you're talking in his back.
Give him another one.
Lock in.
What about Kara? What about
Thunder,
Kara?
the Thunder.
Yeah, get that one. Get that
Tara, are
one.
you a golfer? All right,
I've
EJ,
heard
let's
him.
take it
Oh,
back
yeah,
home.
turn it around.
Take it back home.
Yeah.
EJ, you got to go 2 of 5 here, though. Honestly, can't be just giving
Yeah,
away stuff.
come
here.
on, EJ.
EJ, you got to get 2 of 5. It is a little bit of a shame. Feel like you got to read on this one over here. Now you bust open a brand new shot.
Reverse read.
EJ, who's your native?
Don't make excuses.
Tone Diggs talking shit.
There it is.
Oh, no. Bad
Trick
construction.
green.
Come on, EJ. It is not. It is.
Bermuda grass.
Things off the rack.
Boom.
Boom.
Count it.
Get rolling, ball. Get rolling, ball.
Get in there. Bonus ball.
grass.
Grab it.
Hit the damn thing.
Bonus ball. Bonus ball. Bonus ball. Bonus ball. Bonus ball. Bonus ball. Keep it. Keep it.
Yes.
Come on, EJ.
Come on, EJ.
EJ, you make one, you'll make 2. No problem. Just got to take the lid off it, EJ.
Bang.
Count it.
Yep.
Oh. AJ.
These fucking golf balls.
Take your time, Ease. You got it. No rush.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, man.
He told me EJ was a golfer.
He is a golfer.
Bang. Money.
Playing the
There we
break.
go.
Good shot.
All right, EJ, just stop.
your
EJ,
time.
stop.
Take your time,
EJ,
Take
this is
your
it.
time.
This is it. No. This
No
is
one's
it.
happier than Debo right now.
You got this, EJ.
I want to see.
Hey, EJ, before you go, I want to let you know, I don't know how often you watch the show. Very rarely are any of these putts made, okay? So you are not an abnormal situation.
No.
Darius misses a lot of these putts.
Always.
Chuck misses a lot of these putts. Michael Cole, the voice of WWE, went 0 for 20 on this green right here. It is a difficult green. It does not make sense. It is not regulation. But if you can make this putt
Come on.
right here, EJ, we will give 15 people $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in the same reply so we can pay you officially on Cash App. EJ, Hoosier.
Yep.
Hey, we don't break your ankle. I apologize. That's Jabba. That's Jabba. EJ and Kara, thank you for hanging out with us for the last hour.
Come on.
Can't wait to chat with you a little bit more. Conti, thank you for the quotes on the dumps in the McDaniels house. Big shout out to Von Miller, Kenny Pickett, Jesse Bates III for joining us.
Cole Beasley.
Trey White for joining us. It's been a hell of a Thursday. Can't wait to go chat a little bit more with EJ, who just won 15 people $500 who retweet that video, say something nice to somebody, and put their cash tag in there at the same time so we can pay you officially on cash. Is that still happening? That deal's up.
Yeah. Brownovich.
Still gonna do it. They know it though. This is just like these people paying us when we would have been talking about it forever.
True.
Shout out to Bud Light, by the way. And shout out to all you for allowing us to do this for a living. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.